Charlotte, North Carolina.
Starting third.
Martin Truex Jr., Mayetta, New Jersey.
Starting second.
Joey Logano, Middletown, Connecticut.
And starting on the pole.
Denny Hamlin, Chesterfield, Virginia.
That's the starting lineup for the Geico 500.
That's a wrap on the NASCAR Live pre-race show. Woody Kane, Steve Post, Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn. A beautiful Sunday afternoon in Central Alabama. 40 drivers, 500 miles. The Geico 500, the wild card, the great unknown, the best chance to win. A number of cliches coming in. At the end of the day, it's all about survival.
It absolutely is. It doesn't matter where you take the green flag. It's where you take the checkered flag. Now, let's get this party started.
And now to say the most famous words in motorsports, here's hip-hop duo Tag Team.
Tag Team back again.
Time to get ready. Let's begin.
Drivers, start your engine.
Not only do the engines come to life, but you can also hear in the background the crowd here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Coming up, it's the Geico 500 at Talladega, the Cup Series. It's live, and it's next, right here on the Motor Racing Network.
If we go to page 11 in the presentation, you'll see that we're on target to meet our quarterly.
Some things never change, like nobody can resist popping plastic bubbles. And Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
As I was saying, we're on target to meet, excuse me, Miss Hansen.
Sorry, almost done.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hey race fans, NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace here from my friends at Blue Emu. After years of running up front and doing things at top speed, I still like to go fast.
Race fans are going wild on the backstretch at Martinsville. Rusty Wallace for the final time.
That's why I use Blue Emu, because it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu means quality, and it's owned, distributed, and manufactured right here in the US of A. So the next time you need Hall of Fame relief, reach for Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, official pain relief cream of NASCAR.
8 former drivers in the field here this afternoon. They include Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Eric Almirola, each with 1 win. Denny Hamlin has gone to victory lane twice. So has Ryan Blaney. Joey Logano's a 3-time winner here at Talladega. And best of all, Brad Keselowski, a 5-time winner here on this Superspeedway. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Justin Haley, driving the number 77 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet in the NASCAR Cup Series. As a driver, I know that unexpected can happen. That's why I'm excited to partner with Air Med Care Network this season. AMCN offers emergency medical air transportation at no out-of-pocket cost to members. I'm proud that my fans can benefit from a membership that protects them and their finances when they need it most. Join and get up to a $50 e-gift card. Use coupon code NASCAR at airmedcarenetwork.com/NASCAR.
When you're on the go, missing the side-by-side action at the racetrack isn't a problem.
Here comes Logano on the high side. He drives it deep into turn number 2.
Motor Racing Network brings the NASCAR race to you, wherever you are, so you don't miss one lap of the excitement.
Denny Hamlin has won the 61st edition of the Daytona 500.
You are the man, DH.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Race fans, on behalf of Geico, welcome to this year's broadcast of the Geico 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. Without fail, this race delivers some of the most exciting action on the track year after year, and Geico is proud to continue its long-standing commitment. As a proud premier partner of NASCAR, Geico wishes all of today's competitors the best. And to the fans, enjoy the show.
The 104th running here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Welcome back to 10th race of the 2021 season, the Geico 500. 40 cars now rolling off of pit road and out onto this massive racetrack. 2.66 miles in length. Let's take a swing around it right now and bring in 3 more voices that will help call the broadcast for you today. Presented by Wampley. Self-employed, Wampley has helped over 100,000 small businesses access their PPP loan. You may qualify for up to $50,000. Apply right now at wampley.com/NASCAR. As the field works through 1 and 2, that's going to be our first stop just outside of turn number 2. High above it, there, as always, from Barrie, Vermont, it is Dave Moody.
Thank you, Jeff Striegel. Good afternoon again, everybody, from high above turn 2 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Let's give you the tail of the tape at this southwest end of the racetrack. A total of 33 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. 2 wide with ease, 3 wide, not that difficult, 4 wide, well, in an emergency, and sometimes it doesn't work out all that well. Lots of paved runoff area down to the inside before you come in contact with the white safer barrier. Lots of room to race, but as the banking falls away to just 3 degrees at the entrance of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, things can get a little tight here in turn number 2. We'll watch the action from high above the Sunoco Tower here at the exit of turn 2 at Talladega. Now to the other end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Milford, Delaware's Mike Bagley.
Thank you, Dave, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm positioned on the platform at the end of the back straightaway. The backstretch here at Talladega, 4,000 feet, and that's a lot of real estate to corral drafting help or watch it dissolve and fade away when you make the attempt. That's going to be the name of the game this afternoon. If you're going to step out of line, you might want to make sure you got some folks with you. If you don't, you're going to lose a lot of positions. And at the end of this race, all those partnerships that develop over the course of 497 miles. We'll watch them dissolve in the last 3. It's going to be amazing to watch this. It always is, and breathtaking racing, always the norm here at Talladega. We will cover the double wide, 3 wide, 4 wide, side drafting, bouncing off each other all afternoon long. When they race by me in turn 3, it's back up into the banking of the corners here at this end of the racetrack and into the view of Altamont, Illinois' Kurt Becker.
And thank you, Mike. When the field comes off turn number 4, all kinds of objectives for the drivers as they work their way off the 33-degree banking back into the tri-oval. They've got to transition to 16.5 degrees of banking. Green flag conditions, you're going to have to slow the car down from nearly 200 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour to get on the pit lane. And the start-finish line, from the time you exit turn 4, roughly 4,000 feet before you get to the start-finish line. That means things that happen in turn 4 can have a big impact on whether or not you reach that ladder point in front of the field. We'll have all the action covered from our spot atop the fan deck overlooking turn 4 this afternoon. Now back to the gentleman who will anchor today's broadcast. Once again, Jeff Striegel and Alex Hayden.
Thank you, Kurt. Once past the tri-oval, the start-finish line is on the short straightaway, headed towards turn number 1.
What's the secret of Clyde Mays whiskey? Maybe it's the high-quality ingredients and notes of dried apple that give it its smooth Alabama-style flavor. Or maybe it's not something, but someone, a family man, who did things the right way, whether he was caring for his kin or crafting his whiskey. So, perhaps the secret in every sip of Clyde Mays whiskey is Clyde May himself.
This is Steve Post of Wing Nation. Join Aaron Evernham and me every Tuesday and Thursday as we talk dirt. Sprint car dirt tracks, dirt racing, dirt racers, dirt news, from the National Touring Series to your local track, we cover sprint car racing coast to coast. Live Tuesdays at noon Eastern on wingnation.com and Wing Nation's Facebook page, or catch the podcast on podcast platforms or YouTube. Your go-to for 10 years of award-winning sprint car coverage, Wing Nation.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Are you a gig worker or self-employed? Get in the PPP fast lane with Wampley. Wampley has helped over 100,000 small businesses get a PPP loan and proudly serves more than 600,000 small businesses across America. Millions of self-employed workers may qualify for up to $50,000 in 100% forgivable loans. Funds are limited, so apply now at wampley.com/NASCAR. That's WOMPLY.com/NASCAR. Wampley is not a lender. Terms and program rules apply.
Are you ready? To help children forget about their serious medical conditions so they can just be a kid. Yeah! Then support Victory Junction, which is the dream of late race driver Adam Petty, who wanted to build a camp where children concentrate on fun and laughter, not illness or disability. At Victory Junction, kids enjoy zip lining, horseback riding, swimming, fishing, all in a medically safe environment, all at no cost to the camper. What do you say, Richard Petty?
Let's do this.
Learn more at victoryjunction.org.
Signal given, 1 to go. We go green flag racing, so let's get a final thought from the pit lane before the drop of the green flag. This report from pit road is presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Steve Post.
Alex, as Woody Kane mentioned in the pre-race show, the stage is 60 laps, and 68 laps. So 3 very equal stages over the course of this race. The fuel window is about 40 laps. That means we'll have to stop within each stage, and tag team and group stopping is going to be important if we do it under green flag conditions. One of the other factors in the first stage, NASCAR has issued a competition caution on lap 25, so I would suspect we don't get busy before then. We will likely see all kinds of action on pit road during that competition caution on lap number 25. I'm at the exit of pit road. In the midsection of pit road is Dylan Welch. Dylan, what are you keeping your eye on?
Steve, as far as tires go, kind of like we talked about yesterday, it's going to all just be dependent really on when you come down pit road. If you come down under yellow, you're basically just going to maybe put tires on based on how long you're going to be in the stall for fueling. So we saw plenty of no tire or 2 tire stops yesterday in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. If you pit under green, it's very likely that you'll just do fuel only. Tires don't wear very much here. They're not super important. Obviously, you need to take care of them, but new tires don't make a huge difference like they do at other tracks on the circuit. So we'll follow all that from the midsection of pit road. Kim Kuhn is at the entry of pit lane.
Well, the main thing to watch down here on my end of pit road is how drivers navigate their way onto the pit lane, especially during green flag stops. It's a difficult task, and it's made even more challenging because you have to bring your car down from speeds near about 200 miles per hour to a pit road speed of 55 miles per hour. Additionally, drivers have to get the choreography right in order to pit in a pack with their teammates or manufacturer group. So that can present an opportunity for mistakes. And in yesterday's NASCAR Xfinity race, we actually saw cars spin attempting to make their stops under green flag conditions. Another thing, this is a very long pit road, plenty of opportunities to speed. So drivers keeping that in mind too. We'll have you covered down here on pit road. Now back to the booth.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Kip Childress already with a pace car on pit road, coming your way right now live on the Motor Racing Network, the Geico 500 from Talladega, and here to call the start for the Motor Racing Network from Goldsboro, North Carolina, it is Alex Hayden.
Alex Bowman on the inside lane. We've got Joey Logano on the outside. Green flag goes in the air, and the Geico 500 is underway. The field now begins to come through the gearbox and come up to speed as they hit the banking of turn 1.
Quickly beginning to sort things out as they work their way up through the gearbox and gain some speed here. The advantage will go to the inside line as they work their way off turn 2. They're all chasing Joey Logano.
Logano starts out on the bottom, then he jumps up in the outside line right in front of William Byron. Logano will keep the lead. Here's Byron giving him a good shove now, but Byron rumbles out of the pocket. He'll go for the lead in 3.
William Byron going to work early this afternoon at Talladega. Edges out in front. Logano rallies back around the outside.
Their challenge for the race lead. Joey Logano in the outside lane has the spot. Here comes Kyle Larson peeling off the racetrack. Kyle Larson will make an unscheduled pit stop as they flash by the start-finish line to click off lap number 2.
It continues to be Logano at the head of the pack. Chase Elliott now rides in the number 2 position. Brad Keselowski now will pull to his right elbow and make a high line charge for that runner-up spot.
So Team Penske 1 and 2 in the outside line. Those Ford Mustangs will lead the way up against the wall on the back stretch. Down low, that lane led by Chase Elliott. Here comes a middle lane breaking loose, led by Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain trying to find something that will work to his advantage. He tries to plant it right in the middle of the racetrack coming off the corner. He's got company there. Tyler Reddick lines up right behind him.
Chase Elliott on the inside, Joey Logano with the lead on the outside, and Kyle Larson on pit road with the hood up. Steve Post is there.
Absolutely. The first lap of this race, Kyle Larson shot into the outside of the racetrack and dropped back, and he has brought the car down. They are focusing under the hood. Not exactly sure what the problem is other than it's a temperature problem. The water temperature spiked. In fact, Kyle just on the radio now said the temperature's down to 330, so they're circulating the water. They're working on the problem. Now it's down to 300 degrees. They're working on the problem. Now they got to figure what has caused the problem, and they're working up under the front of the Hendrick Cars Chevrolet Camaro.
Well, for the moment, he's already lost 1 lap. Kyle Larson still sitting on the pit lane, engine not running. Field will rumble up off of turn number 4. Larson will go down at least a second lap as the field begins to bunch up on the outside lane. Joey Logano's got Brad Keselowski latched onto the back bumper. Then a couple of 3, making now 4 Stewart-Haas racing cars go 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Teammates working together here in the early going at Talladega. They shuffle Chase Elliott from the 2nd spot all the way back outside the top 10. Top groove rolling behind Joey Logano.
That top groove is led by 7 Ford Mustangs. They are in a one huge conga line. Matter of fact, about 3/4 of the field in single file formation. Got some stragglers downstairs. Matter of fact, 3 of them, and they all belong with Hendrick Motorsports.
Got Chase Elliott downstairs, and he has William Byron right behind him. Now, a moment ago, Alex Bowman was part of that group. Bowman is trying to pick a lane and decide where to go.
Only 2 Chevrolets downstairs. That's not going to work because the Fords are hooked up at the front of the field and trying to drive away. Logano, Keselowski, Eric Almirola, Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer, and Chris Buescher. Before you get back to the first Chevrolet, that's Ryan Preece. Then the Toyota of Bubba Wallace. 1 Toyota up there. Where in the world are all of the Toyotas, Alex Hayden?
Well, before the race, they got popped for some unapproved adjustments by the NASCAR inspectors. As a matter of fact, there was a boatload of cars that had to go to the back of the field for the start of the race, including pole winner Denny Hamlin. Martin Truex Jr. went to the back. Christopher Bell went to the back. Bubba Wallace to the back. Harrison Burton back there. Daniel Suarez, and then Cody Ware and B.J. McLeod for failing inspection multiple times today. So they all had to start at the back of the field. That will change the way they approach today's race strategy-wise.
And Kyle Larson has just come back off of pit road. Let's get an update from Steve Post. We understand, obviously, like you pointed out, it was a heating issue or cooling issue. What did they determine, and what have they resolved?
They haven't figured it out. The conversation on the radio right now is what's the car doing now out on the racetrack. So they've got a mystery down here, and it doesn't seem like they solved it. It seemed like they fixed it. They Band-Aid the temperature, but right now they're trying to figure out what the problem is. And literally Cliff Daniels just told Kyle, thanks for the insight, just stand by and we'll let you know what we need to do.
Well, Kyle Larson on the track, he fell in the way he blended in at the tail end of the draft. So he was able to latch on and run, but Kurt Becker looks like Kyle Larson, the problem has come back.
Yeah, it has, and meanwhile the leaders are working their way off turn number 4. Been keeping an eye on Larson. He's off the pace, dropping once again off the 33-degree banking, and Kyle is headed back to pit road.
It's going to be a long day for Kyle Larson. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Dave, things beginning to shuffle up once again.
Second lane beginning to materialize. Bubba Wallace led that charge down low. He comes all the way up to a battle for 3rd place. Kevin Harvick crosses over across his nose.
Leaders off turn 2. Logano starts on the bottom. He'll jump up in front of Brad Keselowski. That will leave Kevin Harvick to lead the inside. Got Bubba Wallace right behind him. Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, and 5 others down low.
All of that traffic negotiates the banking through turns 3 and 4. You've got Joey Logano, the race leader, first up on the bottom side. Here comes Kevin Harvick trying to work his way to the front.
Trying to get the troops lined up on the back bumper on the inside lane for Kevin Harvick. His advance is going to be blocked by Joey Logano. Larson had a big puff of smoke underneath that car coming out of the header pipes as he made his way to pit road. Team not really working with a sense of urgency down there. We've got 8 laps complete. Everybody's chasing Joey Logano.
This is your new home speaking. I know you haven't moved in yet, but I need some favors. Could you dust the blinds? The dust makes me feel dusty. Also, we could save a lot of money if you bundled your home and car insurance with Geico. It's super easy to do online or over the phone. Last favor, when you move in, could you stick to one aesthetic? The last owner had a weird mix of floral wallpaper and nautical tchotchkes, and I can't have another identity crisis.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts at participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Joey Logano continues to pull the field down the Alabama Gang super stretch. He's got his teammate and Brad Keselowski behind him. They're 3 wide from 3rd on back, about 8 rows deep. We'll get you back to the action in just a moment. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey, race fans, this is Darrell Waltrip, and I'm letting you know that NASCAR returns to the Nashville Superspeedway for a NASCAR Cup Series race with the inaugural Ally 400. Join us on Father's Day weekend for 3 days of racing, June the 18th through June the 20th. Get your tickets now at NashvilleSuperspeedway.com or call 866-RACE-TIX. That's 866-RACETIX. I'll see you out there.
On your ride home, catch NASCAR Today to keep up with the latest.
Heck, it's always changing, it seems like, in NASCAR.
Every weekday, you'll hear from the top newsmakers in the sport.
I think it sounds really, kind of cool.
Plus, some fun peeks behind the scenes.
Bedtime is kind of like last lap around Talladega. Guaranteed chaos. Somebody's going to go away mad.
I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
We welcome you back to sunny Talladega, Alabama. The field races under fire down the back straightaway.
Here they come. They're stacked up double wide. New man charging hard down low. Bubba Wallace past Logano. Bubba Wallace to the lead at Talladega.
Going to try to bring Kevin Harvick along with him. Ross Chastain is rooted down to the bottom lane of the racetrack. Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, all trying to follow Bubba Wallace.
Logano has led 10 laps. William Byron 1. And now Bubba Wallace, here he comes to the line. He will lead lap number 12 for the first time this afternoon. Kevin Harvick giving chase. Right behind him is Ross Chastain.
Here they come into turn number 1. Bubba Wallace leading the way. Harvick rides in second. Chastain in the number 3 position. Right behind him, a good start for Tyler Reddick, who rides in the 5 spot.
It is a 6-car breakaway up front. Race leader from 2 laps ago, Joey Logano, finds himself just barely inside of the top 10. Matter of fact, Logano, second car in line on the outside behind Michael McDowell.
Let's see what Logano can do from there. He squeezes it down to the middle lanes of the banking. There goes Brad Keselowski, his teammate, moving by to the inside. And Martin Truex Jr., also part of that mix.
Here they come up off of turn 4, back to the tri-oval. What was the dominant outside lane has shifted now down to the inside. The bottom side is the one that's leading the charge. Bubba Wallace, Kevin Harvick, now Ross Chastain up there in the top 3.
Good run for Chastain here in the early going. He stays tucked in line right down on the double yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. Then Reddick, then Chase Elliott trying to fight his way through on the bottom now is Christopher Bell.
Leaders off 2 and up the back straightaway. Christopher Bell doing a good job. Among all the other Toyotas that started in the back, you've got Bell running side by side for the 5 spot with Hamlin behind him.
Here they come now back into corner number 4. Christopher Bell checks the rearview mirror. There's Denny Hamlin. There's Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., all lining up along the inside lane.
Last lap by Bubba Wallace at the front of the field, 196 miles an hour. Kevin Harvick rides right behind. Then comes Ross Chastain. I'll give you a quick look at the top 10 as we are now 11 laps away from the competition caution. Bubba Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Chastain, top 3. Tyler Reddick now into the top 5. He goes 4th. Chase Elliott 5th. Brad Keselowski right now 6th. Christopher Bell 7th, followed by Michael McDowell, winner in the Daytona 500. He's 8th. Denny Hamlin, Alex Hayden already into the top 10. He's 9th, running right in front of Joey Logano.
Who led the opening 10 circuits, did Logano, finding himself in the 10th spot. That, of course, will shuffle and change nearly every turn of every single lap, the running order that is. Here they come, back up off turn 4, challenge for the race lead. This time, the outside lane has the burst of momentum, and Kevin Harvick, he'll take his Ford Mustang to the top of the leaderboard. Harvick officially becomes our 4th different leader here at Talladega.
And he's going to take some company along with him in that outside line. Joey Logano goes to the 2nd spot. Here comes Michael McDowell looking to the outside of Bubba Wallace for position number 3.
Outside line has 4 Fords leading it. Kevin Harvick at the front of the field. They start to shuffle up now for around the 10th position. Bubba Wallace leads the lane in the middle. He's got Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin right behind him. Kyle Busch thought for a moment, squeezing 3 wide up the middle.
Here's Kyle Busch now. He checks to the right, starts to scoot up the racetrack to the middle lanes of the banking in turn number 4. He's got teammate Denny Hamlin swung off to the left side, off the corner.
How about this? A stat for Kevin Harvick fans. He has not led a race since Daytona in February, but he's out front here right now at Talladega. There's a group of 20, Dave Moody, all running within a second of one another, and now they fan out 3 wide.
Pretty typical Talladega racing. Michael McDowell now jumps to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to hang Bubba Wallace and a number of others in that middle lane. McDowell will get some company downstairs.
You got 5 cars in the middle, 4 cars on the bottom, and at least a dozen topside. That topside led by Kevin Harvick. Keselowski right behind him. Logano in Keselowski's hip pocket. That's 1, 2, 3, and they're stacked up from 4th on back.
Bubba Wallace is working down to the bottom side of the racetrack, and here he comes. Moves up from 4th to 3rd to 2nd within a car length of the race leader, Kevin Harvick, coming off the corner.
Harvick will continue to pull the field, however, back to the tri-oval and lead for the 3rd time here in a row. Now let's look at the leaderboard, brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations.
17 laps are in. Kevin Harvick, and this will change by the time they get back. Kevin Harvick leading, Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, and Austin Dillon. Now that's your top 5. Kyle Busch goes 6th. Michael McDowell 7th. Christopher Bell is 8th. Kurt Busch 9th. And 10th is Martin Truex.
Rest of the top 20 as they run at the moment. Ross Chastain 11th. Alex Bowman is 12th. Denny Hamlin 13th. Ryan Blaney 14th. Chase Elliott is 15th. Cole Custer 16th. Tyler Reddick is 17th. William Byron 18th. Chris Buescher 19th. And Chase Briscoe is 20th.
One Vegas afternoon, Kyle Busch's pit crew changed more than just tires. In a blazing 12.2 seconds, they transformed fan Nick Larez from man to machine. Now, everything he does in his Tundra, he does in 12.2 seconds. Gas up, 12.2. Car wash, 12.2. The drive-thru, 12.2. Extra napkins, please. That's how it all began for Nick. Share your hashtag Toyota fan stories on Twitter. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Grassroots Racing. It's where I got my start and what we talk about on NASCAR Coast to Coast. I'm Hannah Newhouse. Join me and Kyle Rickey each week as we talk with drivers from NASCAR's National, International Touring Series, and your local NASCAR track. Kyle talks with the Wheel and Modified Driver of the Week, and we give you all of the latest news and race results. You can watch on MRN.com, Facebook, or YouTube. You can also subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. NASCAR Coast to Coast, grassroots racing coverage you won't find anywhere else.
Per usual, another lead change at the start-finish line. Bubba Wallace by half a car goes back to the top of the leaderboard. Kevin Harvick 2nd, and Kyle Busch runs 3rd. We've got 41 laps to go here in stage number 1 from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
If you suffer from heartburn or other digestive-related disorders, then there is a new, safe, better, and natural alternative to better digestive wellness and heartburn relief. Praxid not only provides relief of heartburn, but Praxid takes a 360-degree approach to support better digestion, protect you from harmful bacteria, and also balance your stomach to improve digestive functions.
We like to think of it as the multivitamin of digestive health.
It's the only product to combine all natural ingredients known for the digestive health properties into a single patented product. Praxid also comes in easy-to-carry packs. Praxid relieves, restores, and maintains a healthy digestive system. Praxid is available here for only $39.95. Shipping and handling is free, and your money back is guaranteed.
To take advantage of this special radio offer, call now 1-800-829-5688. That's 1-800-829-5688. Again, 1-800-829-5688.
"21 laps have been put on the scoreboard. That means we are 4 laps away from a scheduled competition caution, Jeff Striegel, that NASCAR put out. Again, no practice, no qualifying here this weekend for the NASCAR Cup Series.
Opportunity for the drivers if they elect to come to pit road under the caution flag. Bagman, it is on the back straightaway.
And speaking of opportunity, here comes Kyle Busch. He's going to take advantage of Bubba Wallace sliding wide all two. Kyle Busch, your new leader in Dega.
Christopher Bell is going to move up as well, right behind teammate Kyle Busch. They go 1-2. How about another? Martin Truex Jr. to third. Oh, and Denny Hamlin up to the fourth spot.
Suddenly, these drivers who started at the back of the field have made their way to the front rather quickly. The Toyotas working together well. Kyle Busch has the Interstate Batteries colors at the top of the leaderboard. Kyle Busch pulls him to turn 1.
Until just a lap or so ago, virtually all the Toyota troops were lined up in single file. They've gotten split up just a little bit on their way through the pack, but it's Kyle Busch on the lead, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, then the lonesome Chevy of Chase Elliott.
Once those Toyotas from downstairs surge to the lead, leaders from a few laps ago have gotten shuffled back. Talking Bubba Wallace, talking Kevin Harvick. Matter of fact, they're in a 3-wide run off the end of the back straightaway.
They are working outside the top 10 now. In fact, Bubba Wallace falls all the way back to around the 12th position, trying to rally back in the outside lane.
Hard racing is over. Everybody understanding that we're going to get a competition caution flag coming up here in just a couple of laps. Alex Hayden, here's something interesting. Mentioned a moment ago, Harvick leading for the first time since Daytona. And now it's Kyle Busch at the front of the field, leading for only the third time this year. Where in the heck have those two super powerhouse teams and drivers been?
They've had some struggles for sure. Obviously, Kyle Busch working with a new crew chief here in 2021 and Ben Bayshore, they're finding their footing. But again, they got off to a good start, winning the Busch Clash on the road course at Daytona to kick the season off, albeit a non-points paying race. But it is nice to see some of the longtime veterans and champions of our sport back at the front of the field.
Right now it's Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell. It's all Toyotas, and remember, a large majority of them started out back. Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Truex, Hamlin, Chase Elliott, top 5. Dave, they're going to go nose to tail from first to fifth, but look. Says, I'm still going to keep racing.
In just a matter of moments, eyes on the flag stand. Tiffany Myrick is our chief starter, and there is the caution flag as it comes out here on lap number 25 with Kyle Busch leading Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, and Martin Truex Jr.
Goodyear has been trusted by NASCAR drivers for nearly 70 years. We've built their reputation by going above and beyond expectations, always focused on the road ahead. Whether that's 200 laps around a track or 20 trips to the store and back, Goodyear knows we reach our greatest potential by moving forward. That's what makes us better every time we drive. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Goodyear, more driven.
Bodega, 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 Alpha and Omega. Siamese sailors sell celery sandwiches. Sawing about a serving platter.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes.
Did you want to try reading that line on the script there?
Oh, yeah, let's see. You could say big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just not warmed up yet. Shouldn't be long. Lie detector test.
Kurt Busch in, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Chase Elliott, and says, car's okay, speed is nothing special. He can't get to the bumper of other cars. Tight off. They made an adjustment there to free him up.
That's Steve Post, Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn. Top 5 off of pit road. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, and William Byron will follow up. Somebody took a fuel can all the way off of pit road and left it on the racetrack.
There once was a dad who set out on a great quest to find the perfect Coca-Cola flavors at his family's request. So he went into a convenience store and grabbed the Coke Cherry Vanilla, Coke Cherry, and more. At dinner, they sipped Coke flavors and rejoiced, for everyone made their own delicious choice. Coca-Cola flavors, unbelievably delicious.
Looking for something a little different? Cut through all the noise with the MRN Out Loud podcast every week.
How difficult is it to get a bunch of racers to agree to anything and to stick to it?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure how they pulled that off.
I'm Woody Kane. Join me every Thursday as we get between the ears of NASCAR's most interesting characters.
You said, I don't plan to be just an absentee owner.
No, this is going to be my job.
MRN out.
Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
MRN Classic Races.
Kerry Bradshaw, the honorary starter, puts the green out, and they are underway.
Hear all of the greatest moments in NASCAR history.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway, leading the pack, coming to the line. He will win.
From Daytona to Talladega.
It is over here at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt has won the race.
To the sport's greatest champions.
Darrell Waltrip calling the bluff, and he's on his way.
Live, right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Welcome back to the Barney Hall.
challenges down low. Now Hamlin slides up right across the nose of Keselowski.
Wow, Hamlin went from the bottom to the top, keeps the upper lane in the rearview mirror, but now it's Bubba Wallace that'll lead the center. Kyle Busch leads the bottom, and Keselowski is pushing for all he's worth.
Kyle Busch is up to the 4th position. Keselowski straight ahead, but to the high side. He's in second. Kyle Busch,
in all of NASCAR. Getting ready to go back into the green flag. There'll be 17 laps to go until we get to the end of stage number 1. Hamlin on the inside, Brad on the outside, then Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Ross Chastain, who has been inside the top 10 most of the afternoon as they make their way back up to turn number 1. Denny Hamlin trying to lead the field.
He'll do that with a little bit of help a lot of help from Ryan Blaney. Blaney gives Hamlin a big shove. Denny away to the lead. Blaney to the inside of Keselowski for second.
They come now out of 2. Hamlin, your leader. Blaney in second. Keselowski leads the top lane. That right behind him, you've got Kyle Busch. There's a middle lane with only 4 cars in it.
Pick a lane, decide which way you're going to go. That middle lane, you've got Brad Keselowski now, and he has Kyle Busch behind him. All kinds of traffic lining up there, and in fact, Chase Briscoe is part of that group too.
He is indeed trying to climb the leaderboard is Chase Briscoe as they work their way back to the start-finish line. 16 laps to go in stage number 1. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, they go single file, but from third on back, they're stacked up.
Hot and heavy behind them, and it's Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, a couple of Team Penske Fords. Head-to-head, nose-to-nose for third and fourth.
Side-by-side battle comes to the back straightaway. Both drivers with a lot of drafting help. They, of course, are in the wake of Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. That battle for third continues as they race off the end of the back straightaway.
Here comes Joey Logano now. He works toward the bottom side of the racetrack with William Byron lined up behind him. He looks straight ahead. Ryan Blaney rides in second, and further ahead, Denny Hamlin, the leader.
That outside lane being led right now by Brad Keselowski. He's got Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe and others lined up behind him, but man, it's just not making any ground right now. It is side by side for 5th between Brad and Christopher Bell.
Bell's got a little bit of an advantage down on the inside lane, courtesy of some superior or at least some more aggressive drafting help. Bell down low, Keselowski up high as they hit the backstretch.
Front 4 have broken out into single file formation. Christopher Bell trying to be the 5th, but he's got to shake Brad Keselowski. Keselowski with a lot of drafting help. Kyle Busch, Briscoe, Truex, Harrison Burton, and Bubba Wallace up top.
All of that going on from 6th on back. You've got Brad Keselowski in 6th. Cole Custer to the bottom side is up to 7th. Alex Bowman works the bottom lane. He's up to 8th.
Alex Bowman celebrating a birthday today, trying to get his way up the top. Now, Bowman, who won last week at Richmond Raceway, trying to find some room to maneuver. However, he looks to the right and sees Kyle Busch. He sees Chase Briscoe. The inside lane further back, Dave, is basically pinned in.
Yeah, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide right now, although that third lane is coming apart a bit. Bubba Wallace, the last man there, and he'll duck down at the tail end of that second lane.
The outside line starting to dissolve just a tad now. Keselowski all of a sudden finds himself in 3 wide territory, goes to the middle, and that leaves the lane wide open for Kyle Busch. Brad has no one to draft with.
Brad is back in the 8th position, now 9th, now 10th. He free falls all the way outside the top 10, outside the top 15. Nobody willing to help Brad.
13 to go in stage 1. Alex Hayden, that was 2 good examples of what happens when you get out of the draft. Start with example 1, name Bubba Wallace. Example 2, Brad Keselowski, but different circumstances. Bubba got shoved to the outside. Nobody wants to form up in a 3-wide formation. Bubba to the tail end of the lead pack. And then Brad in the middle of a 3-wide battled off of turn number 2, and nobody wants to go with you.
Yeah, and that's just part of draft style racing on the super speedways. At some point or another, you're going to be kicked out of the lane you want to be in. At some point or another, your drafting help is going to abandon you, and you're just simply going to have to take your lumps, take your medicine, and just regroup, refire, get back in line when you can, and then work your way back to the front of the field. Brad Keselowski, no doubt, has a very fast Team Penske Ford Mustang.
Well, both of those drivers have fast race cars, both of them running well inside the top 10. Then Wallace kicked out to 23rd. Brad kicked out back to 20th. They'll try to regroup, Dave Moody.
Yeah, they'll have some work to do, but it's Talladega. Maybe it won't take very long. The challenge in the outside lane now, up to about the 5th position, being led by Cole Custer.
Now it's being led by Joey Logano. Now it's led by Ryan Blaney. Now it's led by Hamlin. The bottom lane shifts. Hamlin comes back to the bottom. He'll lead Blaney to lead the outside in 3.
Blaney is up to the high side in the 3rd position. William Byron forges ahead to take the second position with a shove from Christopher Bell. Joey Logano lines up in the outside lane behind Blaney.
Joey Logano led a ton of this race early on. Has not really been much of a factor at the front of the field since then. However, now he's going to get on the back bumper of his teammate Blaney. He will shove Ryan Blaney to the lead, and he'll take himself and go to the second spot.
Blaney to the number 1 spot. Logano to position number 2. Cole Custer, at least momentarily, all by himself in the high lane in third. Fourth belongs to Kevin Harvick. Here comes Matt Benedetto, top side for fifth.
6 Fords now leading the outside line, and a Ford leading the race. Blaney and Logano 1 and 2 for Team Penske. Custer, Harvick to Benedetto, Buscher, and then the first Chevrolet in the person of Ryan Preece.
First car along the inside lane of the racetrack is going to be Denny Hamlin. He has found himself back in the 7th position, now moving up into 6th, still a long way from getting back to the front.
We've already had 9 different lead changes, and that only counts right here at the start-finish line. We've had dozens others around the racetrack. 10 to go. Stage number 1. Here's a quick look at the top 10. Ryan Blaney leading over his teammate Joey Logano, Cole Custer, Matt DiBenedetto, Kevin Harvick make up your top 5. Then you've got Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, William Byron, Ryan Preece, and Bubba Wallace rounding out the top 10.
Having a fantastic drive as we've got now 9 laps to go in stage number 1 when they get back around to the start-finish line. We mentioned Brad Keselowski a moment ago. Worth talking about Brad Keselowski and that team all celebrating this month, the month of the military child. And on top of the car, the name above the door for Brad Keselowski is Steven Soom, the young man from Poughkeepsie, New York. His father's in the United States Army. So Brad Keselowski helping celebrate the month of the military child.
A 5-time winner here at Talladega. In fact, if you look at Team Penske, they've won 9 out of the last 18, 8 out of the last 13. Team Penske pretty good, and they've got an Alliance car out front now. Lead change number 10. Mike Bagley, new man at the front of the field.
That is Matt DiBenedetto. He will take advantage. He will take the lead, and the legendary number 21 of the Wood Brothers leads again here at Talladega Superspeedway.
And Ryan Blaney is right there in second. Joey Logano, then Cole Custer, Kevin Harvick, 5 Fords, lighting up to the high side of the racetrack. But it is DiBenedetto showing the way at Talladega.
And right in the middle of the speedway. The inside lane is led by Denny Hamlin. They've worked their way up now side by side for 4th. Denny Hamlin's got William Byron, Christopher Bell, and Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, among others. They're beginning to make some hay.
Trying to claw their way back into contention for the stage win. Denny Hamlin now side by side in that battle for 3rd. Hamlin down low. Kevin Harvick up top. Here comes Bubba Wallace 3 wide to the outside.
Bubba Wallace flying around the outside. They will stack them up 3 wide. That is the first out of ranks battle there is. You got the front 4, front 5 single file. Then 3 wide behind them. Hamlin now gets a shove from Byron down low.
Got Kevin Harvick in the middle lane of the racetrack. Joey Logano drops down in front of him along with Ryan Blaney. Here's the leader, DiBenedetto, to the bottom side to throw the block.
And now he'll go all the way to the top side to throw the block. Matt DiBenedetto out front. They line up behind Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. They're in the middle groove. Cole Custer way up top and all the way to the bottom. That's Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin trying to dig his way in that bottom lane. He's alongside Harvick, who's alongside Custer. But that's the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th, all behind Matt DiBenedetto.
It is the middle lane that DiBenedetto leads that gets all the momentum. Now it'll shift to the high side of the racetrack. DiBenedetto changes lanes, goes up top, gets in front of Ryan Blaney. Now it's Kevin Harvick that'll lead the middle lane to 3.
And he will have company there as well. Here comes Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch all along that inside lane of the racetrack, but still DiBenedetto, the race leader.
Doing a masterful job is Matty D, working the bottom, working the top, blocking as many lanes as he possibly can. Harvick on the bottom. He's got a big push from behind from Ryan Preece. No surprise to see Preece at the front of the field, Dave. His career best finish of 3rd happened right here at Talladega.
A very good super speedway racer, and indeed not at all surprising to see him in the front 5 right now. Matt DiBenedetto continues to lead the way. Blaney right there on his back bumper.
Another 3 wide line breaking out. Truex leading it. Now he'll get a couple that'll dart up in line in front of him. Matter of fact, it'll be DiBenedetto, Blaney, Logano all hopping up in front of Truex, and now they're 3 wide for third.
And here comes Ryan Preece. He is coming up the inside lane of the racetrack to third, to second. Got a nose out in front off turn 4. Ryan Preece, new leader at Talladega.
Boy, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. He's running the inside line in the Chevrolet. Ryan Preece flanking him to the outside in the Ford. That's Matt DiBenedetto, and lead change number 11, new man at the front of the field, and that's Ryan Preece.
I don't know how you become a great super speedway drafter by racing open wheel modifieds on short tracks, but in the case of Ryan Preece, it worked. He goes to the head of the pack in the Kroger Reese's Chevrolet.
He will lead the lane down low for now, but here comes momentum in the outside. That outside still being led by Matt DiBenedetto. Won't be able to get him before 3. Preece continues to lead.
Chris Buescher there behind Preece along that inside lane to the racetrack. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, lots of folks lining up, keeping Ryan Preece moving forward with the race lead.
Chris Buescher proving to be a fantastic pusher on the back bumper of the inside lane, pushing Ryan Preece to the front of the field. 4 laps to go in stage number 1. Preece the advantage, Buescher second. They're stacked up side by side from third on back.
Third place is a battle right now. Kyle Busch has got the bottom. Matt DiBenedetto to the outside. Behind them, it's Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. Behind them, it's Chase Elliott and Joey Logano.
2 lap cars directly ahead. Matter of fact, the first will pull off of the racing surface. The other, Corey LaJoie, on the bottom. That'll force the leaders to change some lanes. Preece and Buescher topside. DiBenedetto and Blaney the top 4.
All of that traffic sorts itself out through turn number 4. Here's DiBenedetto now, drops out of line, goes to the middle lane to the banking, goes from third to second. DiBenedetto trying to retake the race lead.
Side by side at Talladega yet again. Here they come, racing back through the tri-oval 3 laps ago. Who do you think is going to win stage number 1? We'll find out shortly. Matt back to the front as Ryan works to his outside.
Matt DiBenedetto leading that Guido Express on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got about 10 cars lined up in his back bumper. Ryan Preece cannot hold him off. DiBenedetto, now Blaney, now Logano to the third spot.
Benedetto does not have to take evasive maneuvers, doesn't have to change a lane. He'll stay on the bottom against the double yellow line. Oh, Blaney's got a full head of steam. Oh, Blaney just nails DiBenedetto, and he keep it in a straight line.
DiBenedetto continues to show the way with Blaney just inches from the back bumper. Here comes Matty D. Matt DiBenedetto still leading at Talladega.
With 2 laps to go in the stage and points to be paid out through the top 10 finishers in just 2 more circuits, the amp is being, or the aggressimeter is amped up right now. Matt DiBenedetto, Ryan Blaney, they're your front 2.
Here they come into turn number 1. Bottom 4 now single file. First wheel-to-wheel battle is for 5th. That's where Kyle Busch grabs the low lane. He'll go to work on Ryan Preece off turn 2.
The draft in the middle is starting to fall apart. Looks like all of the momentum and energy is shifting down to the bottom lane of the racetrack. That's led by DiBenedetto. Move further back from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll fly around the outside of Chase Elliott.
They go side by side, racing back for the 8th position. Matt DiBenedetto, the race leader. Big line of traffic, chasing him off turn 4.
1 to go in stage number 1. Out front, 29-year-old driver from Grass Valley, California. He has never won a stage. He'd like to do that right here, right now. He'll lead him across the line. A bunch of Fords lined up right behind Matty D.
Give a tug on those belts. It's about to get serious. They are 3 wide for the number 4 position. Kevin Harvick has organized a charge in the inside lane. He's from 4th to 3rd, looking to the inside of Ryan Blaney.
Here's Blaney. He'll swing wide to the outside. DiBenedetto will do the same. Now Harvick finds himself in the middle with minimal drafting help. Elliott leads the lane down low. Oh, Logano gets turned. Logano is upside down. He'll slam back into the racetrack on the roof of the car. The car is spinning wildly out of control. Now it flips back out onto all 4 wheels. Others are collected and others evade Joey Logano, who goes for a tumble at the end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch.
Big problems over there with Joey Logano. The car went airborne, slammed back down directly on the rooftop. Joey Logano then slid wildly up the banking. He collected his teammate, Brad Keselowski. Also, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got a piece of it. Back to Mike Bagley.
It started at the end of the back straightaway when Joey Logano got turned, and immediately the car began to get airborne. When it did, it went all the way up in the air, and it came down on the roof of the car. The car then began to spin pirouettes on the banking with everybody scattering to avoid. Brad Keselowski got collected. The Logano car got righted back on all four wheels and then slid to the bottom of the banking here at the end of the back straightaway.
It looked like Stenhouse may have gotten into the back of the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who then got shoved into the 22 of Logano. Stenhouse is on pit road right now. Let's follow up there.
And the damage would certainly indicate just that, Jeff. It's heavy left front damage to Ricky Stenhouse's car. The entire wheel well area has been completely shredded away and gone. So the car is still up on jacks as the crew continues to monitor and go to work and just make sure that the wheel well area is clear so they won't have a tire rub. But that fender is completely gone on Stenhouse's Chevrolet. And a tough break, obviously. He's always one of the toughest competitors here at these Superspeedway races. Not good when you've got damage like this early in the race.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace also got a big piece of it because Joey Logano's car came down on the nose and on the hood of Bubba Wallace's machine. But yeah, we've had an opportunity a couple of different times to look at the replay. It looks like just plain old Superspeedway racing, where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got into the back of Hamlin trying to push and shove. He then got into the back of Logano to send him spinning. Stage one is over. It was won for the first time in his career by Matt DiBenedetto. Ryan Blaney finished second, Chase Elliott third, Denny Hamlin fourth, William Byron fifth, Chris Buescher sixth, Alex Bowman seventh, Christopher Bell eighth, Kevin Harvick ninth, and Michael McDowell 10th. That's the top 10 finishers in this stage, brought to you by Blue Green Vacations, the official vacation ownership provider of NASCAR. Blue Green Vacations invites you to believe in the power of vacation. With Blue Green, you can create a lifetime of memories at our...
As far as McAvoy, he plays more minutes than any other.
Green, you can create a lifetime of memories at our collection of unique, locally inspired resorts and enjoy exclusive access to VIP NASCAR experiences. Start your vacation journey today at bluegreenvacations.com.
Are you a gig worker or self-employed? Get in the PPP fast lane with Wampley. Wampley has helped over 100,000 small businesses get a PPP loan and proudly serves more than 600,000 small businesses across America. Millions of self-employed workers may qualify for up to $50,000 in 100% forgivable loans. Funds are limited, so apply now at wampley.com/NASCAR. That's WOMPLY.com/NASCAR. Wampley is not a lender. Terms and program rules apply. Wing Nation TV presented by Sage Fruit. This is Steve Post. Join Ashley Stremme and me as we talk with sprint car racers, legends, and newsmakers. From the National Touring Series to your local track, we cover sprint car racing coast to coast. Saturday mornings on MAV TV and part of Wing Wednesday on Rev TV in Canada. We'll take a look at the tweet of the week and discuss the latest sprint car happenings and news. Wing Nation TV, you miss a week and you'll miss a lot.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
I am a ticket to something truly amazing. I am access to a seat which you will use only when not standing, arms raised, and screaming for your driver. I am something you will keep long after, to remember the day, the race, the time of your life. To experience a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets. I am NASCAR.
I am tradition, passed down from the families that race,
it's all I've ever known, racing,
to the ones that watch us every weekend. I am meant to be passed down from one generation to the next, because the only thing better than seeing a race is sharing it with someone. I am NASCAR. Get your tickets to a NASCAR race by visiting NASCAR.com/KidSticks.
Hey, it's Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman pulls it off. We did it, boys!
Catch SiriusXM NASCAR Radio live or pull up your favorite shows anytime on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Back here at the Talladega Superspeedway, working caution flag for the third time today for the big crash over at the end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. On the last lap of stage number one, just an absolute accordion effect on the outside lane. No real blame to place on anybody on that. As they say, that's racing.
Yeah, and I think we take it for granted sometimes. There's just how wild of a ride a driver can take and then pop out of the car. You're absolutely right. Matt DiBenedetto had about a 3-car length advantage. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're drafting, it is. And then Ryan had probably 3 back to Denny and Stenhouse and Chris Buescher. And as they go into turn number 3, all of that space evaporates, and everybody's going, man, check up. Got to get out of this. And Denny tried to, but the problem was it was too little, too late. He got turned into Joey, and it was on from there.
Yeah, it almost looks like Ryan Blaney drug the brake halfway down the backstretch, trying to set up to get a run on the leader, Matt DiBenedetto, to try to pass him coming to the green and white checker. And then everybody behind him began to bunch up, shoved Blaney. Blaney shoved into the slower DiBenedetto. And then from there on, yeah, it's just one of those deals. There are 7 different drivers that were involved in it. And you're going to get 7 different thoughts on exactly what happened.
All of that at speeds around 200 miles an hour. In fact, the Xfinity fastest lap of the race so far was run by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He cut a lap at 202.333 miles an hour. That's quick. Xfinity X5, internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR.
Pit lane is, in fact, open this time by. We'll see how many drivers opt to come to pit road now. As we normally see at Talladega under caution flag, different lead lap cars pit on different sequences, and that way they can prevent potential contact out there on the pit lane. Ryan Blaney really slowed down. Not sure what the problem is with Blaney's car, but he's really off the pace and has been passed by about 12 different cars coming to pit road right now. Chase Elliott is in. They're going to do service on the right side of the Napa Chevrolet. Austin Dillon is in as well. Leader Matt DiBenedetto, their team working and changing left side tires and topping it off with Sunoco fuel as we head to the exit of pit road and Steve Post.
Yeah, you mentioned Blaney. He is just limping down pit road. I'm not sure if the car's out of fuel or what the situation is, but he has no power under the hood of that car. Now he just inches in. Let's see, Denny Hamlin going 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's down on the way. Chase Elliott's going to win the battle off from pit road. Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, and Matt DiBenedetto. So it sounded like the car, the way Blaney reacted, like it ran out of fuel. They're making sure the Sunoco fuel is in the car now. They're around to the left side of the Blaney car, and they're going to make sure that the car will fire up and make sure he has fuel pressure. In fact, they're starting the car right now, and we'll see what the story is there. Kevin Harvick reported car was just a little bit tight off from turn number 2, 4 tires and Sunoco fuel there. Kyle Busch also getting pit service. So Dylan Welch, how about in front of you?
Has several 4-tire stops down here at the middle of pit road as well. Steve, Chris Buescher was in. Tyler Reddick was in. We saw Ricky Stenhouse come back in to try to repair some of their damage as well. And there's a few more guys down here on the wall that are coming down just to try to prevent some of that congestion on pit road that we've talked about. But pretty much routine service down here for the cars that didn't get involved in that accident.
And Steve Post radioing up just a moment ago, Ryan Blaney out of gas, and that was why he slowed so dramatically coming to pit road. Chase Elliott, the first one off of pit road. Stage 1 is done. Matt DiBenedetto picking up the green and white checkered flag.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are powerful. You're a warrior who bathes in your enemy's tears. Then you step out of that refreshing tear bath and into a bathrobe that somehow looks good on you. Yeah, you can pull off a robe. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you save money for driving safely with Snapshot from Progressive. Savings you can use to buy more robes. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Hey race fans, NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace here from my friends at Blue Emu. After years of running up front and doing things at top speed, I still like to go fast.
Race fans are going wild on the backstretch at Martinsville. Rusty Wallace for the final time.
That's why I use Blue Emu, because it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu means quality, and it's owned, distributed, and manufactured right here in the US of A. So the next time you need Hall of Fame relief, reach for Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, official pain relief cream of NASCAR.
Still working under the caution as pit road continues to be a busy place. Now everybody else electing to come to pit road. And Ryan Blaney, the issues there, not sure it was just fuel because there just appears to be something wrong with his car. We'll follow up with Steve Post when we come back. And then stage 2 will begin. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Guys, as a urologist, I've seen it all. What's normal for some men may not be normal for others. If your normal erection is off because of a bend with a bump that bothers you, it could be Peyronie's disease, also called PD, and you can learn more about it at takeonpd.com. Know that you're not alone. Thousands of men are affected by PD. It's a real medical condition, but here's the good news. It's treatable, and there are non-surgical options. To find out more, visit takeonpd.com. Peyronie's disease is a medical condition that involves a buildup of scar tissue. In some men, PD may be caused by a minor injury or repeated injuries that might not have been noticed. Talk to a urologist who can diagnose and treat Peyronie's disease and can explain all your options, including non-surgical treatments. Don't wait to do something about it. Find a specially trained urologist at takeonpd.com today.
It's Corey Joy on your 24/7 home from NASCAR, SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. And stream it on your phone and at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers.
So we will follow up on a number of stories. Bubba Wallace will come to pit road. They'll continue to work on that Toyota. Also, we're following up on Ryan Blaney. Steve Post is in that pit area. So as soon as he gets information there, we'll give it to you. Chase Elliott will be at the front of the field when we go back under the green flag. Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Matt DiBenedetto, and Alex Bowman will be your top 5.
Let's go down to Steve Post.
Now, Ryan Blaney, he went back on the racetrack, and they believe they ran the car out of fuel. And what happens when they run a car out of fuel, it obviously cuts off the engine, but it also really messes up the electronic fuel injection system here. So the system has to reset. He rolled back out on the racetrack, and the car dropped off again. Now, they got it fired back up. They've been watching the fuel pressure. They still believe that it's just now a fuel pressure issue. They're getting up to speed. The concern now, and Ryan just radioed into Todd Gordon, and there's a reset they can do on the EFI, the electric fuel injection, and he asked, should I reset it one more time, because he's going to start up in front of other cars, and he doesn't want it to run out of power, and they suggested that. They still feel like they're all right, but it's just getting that fuel pressure back up. It's a challenge with these electronic fuel injection cars, more so than the old carburetor where you just squirt some ether down in there and she'd fire up and be good. It's a little different getting all the systems reset on these cars, and that's what they believe they're dealing with here, riding around under caution.
Well, we'll watch Ryan Blaney. We'll watch them all. We're just about ready to go back under the green flag. And Alex, let's just put a bow on this most recent caution flag. I said there are times when we just seem to take it for granted that a wild ride, and we just say, end over end or side over side. Logano, I mean, that car virtually destroyed. He drops the window net, climbs out, but a violent crash working down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and we get so lulled in watching these fantastic world-class race car drivers run 2 and 3 and 4 wide around here at 200 miles per hour. We almost take for granted that the speed isn't really, it doesn't seem like they're going that fast until one of them gets out of shape. And when one car gets sideways, then you realize just how fast they actually are running.
And then Bubba Wallace driving right underneath and clipping the Logano car as it flew through the air. Field getting ready to go back into the green flag. To the Geico restart zone they go. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy.
Green flag is in the air from Chief Starter Tiffany Myrick, and we're racing again at Talladega here in stage number 2. Chase Elliott on the inside lane. He's got a ton of help behind him, as does Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin's got Matt DiBenedetto shoving him for all he's worth in that high groove. Down low, it is the Chase Elliott machine getting plenty of help from Chris Buescher. No verdict. They're still wheel to wheel about 8 rows deep.
Coming up to full song now. No one breaking ranks. Everybody in double wide formation, waiting to see which lane is going to advance, and it will be the outside line. Compliments of Matt DiBenedetto shoving Hamlin to the point.
Here's Hamlin now back to turn number 3. He's got the race lead. DiBenedetto goes second. Chase Elliott moves up the inside into third. The inside lane working forward off turn 4.
All right behind Denny Hamlin, Matty D, Chase Elliott. That outside line, though, formed up and ready to come to the front. Can they do it? William Byron there, Truex, Harvick, Christopher Bell. A lot of strong cars on the outside, Dave, trying to run down the race leader.
So far, they've gotten up to about a side-by-side battle for the 4th position. That's where on the inside it's Chris Buescher. To the outside it's William Byron, all chasing Denny Hamlin.
William Byron now leads the lane in the middle. Ryan Blaney starts a 3-wide run up against the wall towards the tail end of this massive lead draft that continues to be led by Denny Hamlin.
He's got Matt DiBenedetto right behind him, and then Chase Elliott. Elliott checks to the right. There's William Byron. Behind him, Martin Truex Jr. He checks left. There goes Chris Buescher. There goes Alex Bowman.
As they work their way up off turn number 4, the entire front of the pack now stacked up double wide behind the front two. That is on the inside lane, Denny Hamlin, the leader. Second place, Matt DiBenedetto, as they continue to work that way. As going around this racetrack, Jeff, this is a way this race is beginning to play out. We see an inside lane, we see an outside lane, and for the moment, that's the way they're just going to ride for the moment as Chase Elliott on the bottom of the racetrack continues to push along.
15 different lead changes already. Hamlin at the front of the field, then Matty D, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Chris Buescher. That's your top 5. The rest of the top 10 as they came across the line on lap number 68, Truex, Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell. What a great run he's had. He's 9th and Christopher Bell is 10th.
Let's head down to the Care Center and Kim Kuhn.
Yeah, 3-time winner at Talladega, Joey Logano, unfortunately won't be able to make it a 4th here today. We'll let the cars go by so Joey can hear. Joey, wild ride. You took a tumble there. Are you okay? And what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just flew around a little bit. You know, I'm pretty lucky that I didn't get hit in the air. I already had a roll bar that was down towards my head. So I'm fortunate to be standing here right now. And it's that one hand I'm mad I was in the crash, and the other hand I'm just happy to be alive. So I'll take what I can at this point, and we'll go to Kansas.
And what happened?
Just racing at the end of the stage. Big runs on the top side. Everyone's bumping each other. No one's willing to make the move. 47 kind of made the move and hooked the 11 into me. It's this racing. It's what this big spoiler does. This big spoiler is causing big crashes. It's not okay.
Early exit on the day for the Auto Trader Ford and its driver, Joey Logano.
Thank you, Kim Kuhn. Glad Joey's okay. MRN's Care Center updates are brought to you by Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief. Official pain relief cream of NASCAR. Blue Emu products support healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu, it works fast and you won't stink.
Time to lock and load, Mike Bagley. You got a freight train coming at you.
And Matt DiBenedetto is the maestro right now. He is on the outside. He has moved from downstairs to the middle portion of the racetrack. He's got William Byron right behind him. Meanwhile, downstairs, here comes Hamlin with a huge shove from Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott right up behind Denny Hamlin's back bumper. Now backs away a bit. Hamlin goes forward. DiBenedetto goes right to left and throws the block. Matty D leading off turn 4.
He's going to go from the bottom back to the top. He just basically blocks all lanes to try to dirty up the air so nobody has a big enough run with the drafting assistants behind them. DiBenedetto now goes to the bottom of the racetrack. William Byron leads the outside lane.
Byron will only lead it for a short time, though, because DiBenedetto comes right back up to block his run. That leaves the bottom open for Denny Hamlin. Here comes Denny with drafting help from Chase Elliott. He'll challenge for the lead.
But Chase Elliott is not on Hamlin's back bumper. That's going to cost Hamlin a bit of momentum off of 2. That'll give the lead back to Matt DiBenedetto. They lock up again downstairs. Elliott shoving Hamlin again down low.
See what Hamlin can do with that push from Chase Elliott. He's going to move up. He's going to move by. He's going to take a narrow lead from Matt DiBenedetto. Denny Hamlin by a fender off turn 4.
Two drivers that have led the most laps here, battling it out at the front of the field. Hamlin on the inside, Matty D on the middle now, because here comes William Byron. Around them both, flying high on the outside.
William Byron wants a piece of the lead, but Denny Hamlin's got another idea. They are side by side for the lead. They are 3 wide from 3rd back through about the 18th spot in turn 2.
And that outside line is led by Martin Truex Jr. Byron sees the run coming, jumps up in front of Truex to keep him in the rearview mirror. Byron leads. Here comes the middle lane. DiBenedetto now shoving Hamlin to the lead in 3.
DiBenedetto, role reversal this time by, led several laps, now finds himself in 2nd, gives the assist to Hamlin. Hamlin shoots out in front of the field. DiBenedetto rides in 2nd, and here comes Byron.
Byron on that outside lane, right up against the safer barrier. A lot of drafting help there in the form of Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, and Cole Custer. Hamlin will lead this lap. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead as they work their way back into turn number 1. Dave Moody, they're coming at you 3 wide.
Hamlin's got the bottom. Harvick is in the middle. Byron on the outside. Behind them, about 7 rows of 3D braking.
And that's how they will exit turn 2. 3 very pronounced lanes, all even right now. But it's the advantage that will go to the outside of William Byron. That changes. Advantage down low. Denny Hamlin with Harvick to his right.
Here's DiBenedetto again, giving a push to Hamlin along the bottom side of the racetrack. You've got Kevin Harvick in the middle lanes. Ross Chastain going to line up behind him.
Chastain having another run towards the front of the field inside the top 5. Hamlin again will get out front, and he'll lead this lap. Lap 74 goes on the board.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower. Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, I did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Victory Junction was young race driver Adam Petty's dream. He worked toward building a camp where children with serious medical conditions could concentrate on fun and not their illness or disease. When he died tragically, his family and friends around NASCAR made sure that dream came true. Today, Victory Junction is a camp that provides fun, life-changing experiences to children dealing with illnesses and disabilities, all at no cost to the camper. Help us serve more children by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Hamlin still the race leader. Matt DiBenedetto second. William Byron was scored third last time by, so we'll give him the number 3 spot as they flash by the start-finish line. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
New Smithfield Power Bites are tasty breakfast bites of real sausage, egg, and cheese you can take anywhere, like at practice.
Are you eating on my court? Take a lap.
At the game. In the locker room. Even the post-game interview.
Another triple-double. What's your secret?
Gotta be the Power Bites. New Smithfield Power Bites. Eat what you love wherever you are. Find them at your local grocer.
Is your vision of home not turning out quite the way you planned it? Let the experts at CertaPro Painters paint you a more colorful view. Get a free estimate today and let CertaPro Painters create your new dream space. Listening, prepping, and painting every wall while handling every detail. Times may have changed, but our trusted service and expertise remains the same. Get your painting project started at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. We proudly use Sherwin-Williams paints and stains. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
We're ready to go. 24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR is found right here. This is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Back here at the Talladega Superspeedway, Denny Hamlin, Matt DiBenedetto, the front 2 still. They were on the bottom of the racetrack last time. They now work their way to the outside lane. There are 43 laps to go here in stage number 2. That means 77 have been complete. Steve Post, what is the fuel strategy, given the fact that the stages are much longer than what they can go in a full tank of fuel?
Absolutely. You mentioned 43 laps remain in this stage. The fuel window is right around 40, so that window will open in about 3 laps. I would expect them to go 5 or so laps beyond that anyhow, just in case they're running, not getting as much fuel mileage. They don't get it full of fuel. So I think at that point, we're going to see all of the manufacturers team up, and we'll see tag team pit stops here. Somewhere, I'm thinking 7 or 8 laps from now, they can go all the way to lap 103. So they can still go another 23 or 25 laps, but I don't think they'll do that. Of course, there's also the hunch. If you feel like a wreck is coming, you may stay out as well. But that's my thought. That's my best guess on it as far as that goes. And we'll see what happens here in the next 8 laps or so, I would think.
That report from Pit Road is presented by Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Always focused on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven.
Last lap by, they were 3 wide, 5 rows deep. The lap before that, you were trying to call third spot. They came across the line 4 wide. Like it says, you don't race them anywhere in the world like you do right here at Talladega. That phrase coined by Barney Hall and Alex Hayden, he was exactly right.
Absolutely was, and that's why so many people not only pack the grandstands, but Dave Moody, they pack the infield as well.
Boy, they sure do, Alex. We've got more people in the infield, more motorhomes, more campers, more tents, more pop-up awnings than we've seen at a racetrack in well over a year, and to say that we're happy to have them back would be a gross understatement.
They are getting a great show right now as the leaders exit turn 2 and make their way up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Everyone seems to be shifting towards the outside of the racetrack. However, there are 4 cars down low, and they are led by Kevin Harvick.
Chase Elliott is part of that group, and also Chris Buescher, also Alex Bowman as well. But on the outside lane, the race leader off turn 4, Denny Hamlin.
Lap number 80 now ready to go in the books. Lap 80 here at Talladega. So why don't we take a look at the leaderboard, brought to you by Indeed. When you're hiring, there's no luxury of time. So instead of waiting for people to see your sponsored post, invite them to apply. More at Indeed.com/credit.
Denny Hamlin, the race leader, Matt DiBenedetto second, Ryan Preece third, William Byron is fourth, and Martin Truex Jr. goes fifth. Christopher Bell is the 6th place driver with Cole Custer 7th, Ross Chastain 8th, Kevin Harvick 9th, and Kurt Busch 10th.
Chase Elliott 11th, Ryan Blaney 12th, Chris Buescher 13th, Brad Keselowski 14th, 15th, Kyle Busch 16th, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace 17th, Harrison Burton 18th, Michael McDowell 19th, and Austin Dillon is 20th.
Tyler Reddick 21st, Eric Jones 22nd, Chase Briscoe 23rd, Quinn Houff 24th, J.J. Alias 25th, 26th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., B.J. McLeod 27th, Ryan Newman 28th, Timmy Hill 29th, and Eric Almirola is 30th.
And now he's going to get bypassed by Ryan Newman, kicking Eric Almirola back to 31st, Corey LaJoie 32nd, followed by Kaz Grala, Daniel Suarez, Anthony Alfredo 35th, Justin Haley 36th, Joey Gase 37th, and Josh Bilicki 38th. 2 cars out of the race. Logano, after that wild ride and flip, will be scored 39th this afternoon. And Kyle Larson went out early, and he'll be scored 40th.
Field works right now in a high-speed conga line. Everybody following race leader Denny Hamlin all the way around the outside lane of the Talladega Superspeedway. So, Mike Bagley, normally that means we wait for these drivers to make their way to the bottom side of the racetrack to do what Steve Post just reported on a moment ago. Come to pit road.
35 cars are nose to tail right now around the outside, riding the outside retaining wall, and it's something that we wait for. They may be single file right now, but at some point, one by one, they'll migrate to the bottom. And Kurt Becker, once we see drivers migrate to the bottom of the racetrack, it seems like they fall in lockstep. Matter of fact, 2 are on the move right now.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Preece. He works his way to the bottom. Denny Hamlin moves down a half lane in the middle of turn number 4. Preece starts to close up behind him. You've got Preece along the bottom lane. William Byron is also right there, too.
And one other thing that we want to talk about, Kurt Becker, is the difficulty of getting onto pit road. They're cutting laps around 195 as they pass your spot. They've got to be slowed down to 55 miles an hour when they get onto pit road.
Yeah, if you think about traveling down the interstate, Jeff, and if you're traveling along, the speed limit is 70, and all of a sudden you come up on traffic that has slowed in front of you, and you have to go from, say, 70 down to 40. Goes away to about 16 and a half degrees into the tri-oval and trying to move off the main racing surface to get onto the pit lane. There a lot's happening in that moment.
As we look off turn 4 right now, all the Chevrolets are at the bottom of the racetrack, and here they come. Chevrolet, the Bowtie Brigade, will be the first ones to peel off the racetrack and make their stop. They were single file for a moment. They fan out 3 wide as everybody waits to the last minute, Kim Kuhn, to get to pit road speed.
Corey LaJoie and William Byron in that Liberty University Chevrolet. So far good on the handling. It's going to be right side tires only, fuel as well. We also had Ryan Preece in, Kurt Busch in, Chase Elliott in, a little bit of a slower stop on his machine. He was reporting that the car handling and speed better than the beginning of the race, but still doing everything he can to keep the car straight. They made adjustments on that machine. Steve Post.
Alex Bowman was in, right side tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Kaz Grala brought the colored car in. It was fuel only for Kaz Grala, Dylan Welch.
right sides in fuel for Eric Jones, Ross Chastain, Austin Dillon, and Tyler Reddick, who reported his car is very good. So the Chevys have their service done for this round.
Daniel Suarez busted too fast on pit road. Now the Chevrolets will try to hook up and form in that single file formation. That's the best way to cut a fast lap here. We'll wait to see how soon the Fords and the Toyotas will come to pit road. Alex Hayden, you just saw the Chevrolets come to pit road, soon the Fords, soon the Toyotas. Why pit together as a manufacturer?
Well, you have friendly fire out there, if you will. You need drafting help to run fast laps at Talladega Superspeedway. The reason being is because more cars running in a straight line, the more you have, the less the air pressure is in the middle of that group, which in essence forces everybody in the line to go faster. So that's why you want help there when you come to pit road. So you have help when you're getting back up to speed. You mentioned a moment ago, Daniel Suarez busted for speeding. He's going to have a mate down there as well. Ross Chastain also a pass-through penalty. He's got to serve that. So Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez, well, for the moment, at least they'll have each other out there.
So we've got a group of cars that have come to pit road, a whole group of cars yet to come to pit road. Hamlin leads here on lap number 86, soon to be lap 87, followed by Matt DiBenedetto, Truex, Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, top 5, Blaney, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Harvick, and Chris Buescher. And we see some cars now forming up on the bottom. Alex Hayden, are they ready to come to pit road?
It looks like this is the Ford Brigade right at the bottom of the racetrack off turn 4. No, they will stay out there. Actually, those are Toyotas mixed in with some Fords as they come flying by the opening to pit road. They'll stay on the racetrack. Denny Hamlin still the race leader. The Chevrolets, however, after making the pit stop, are still on the lead lap. The only ones that fell a lap down are Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez, and that's because they got caught for speeding on that pit lane.
So Denny Hamlin will lead him off turn number 2. Matt rides right behind. Let's pick him up. Mike Bagley's there.
Here they come up the back straightaway. They're bearing down on Chase Elliott, who has lost the draft. Chase is all by himself, Kurt Becker, and he's getting ready to get gobbled up.
Here come the lead pack. It is Denny Hamlin, Matt DiBenedetto, Martin Truex Jr. gobbling up ground on Chase Elliott off turn 4.
Here they are back to the tri-oval, and again, looking to see if anybody's going to make their way to pit road. They will not. Chase Elliott will now fall a lap down as the leaders in that draft will bypass Elliott. He's going to simply have to take his lumps and hold on tight right now in turn 1.
Chase Elliott, like a goldfish in a school of barracudas, they just stampede underneath him and leave that Napa Chevrolet in their wake. The Toyota and Ford contingent all storming past Chase Elliott.
Elliott trying to be very patient. It's taking the leaders a while to get by him. He is losing spot after spot after spot. He has fallen one lap down, and he's almost reached the back of that lead draft.
All of that traffic at the bottom lane of the racetrack with Chase Elliott up to the middle lane of the banking. Here comes the leader, Denny Hamlin, coming off turn number 4 once again.
Denny Hamlin will bypass the opening of pit road, leading the Toyotas. Matt DiBenedetto will bypass pit road, leading the Fords. They stay all hooked together, nose to tail. Hamlin, Matt DiBenedetto, Truex, Seabell, Cole Custer, and others.
Not a question of if they're coming, it's only a question of when. But right now, Denny Hamlin leading the Toyota contingent, Matt DiBenedetto leading the Ford camp. Pretty happy with where they are.
Yeah, Matt DiBenedetto, the only Ford amongst the lead Toyotas right now. The Toyota of Hamlin, the Ford of DiBenedetto, the Toyotas of Truex and Bell. Then you get to the Ford of Cole Custer.
Cole Custer working down toward the bottom side of the racetrack. Started to take a peek up high, now down back low. Further ahead, Martin Truex Jr., third in this line, behind race leader Denny Hamlin.
And the lead group comes off turn 4. They will bypass the entry to pit road yet again. So the strategy much different. Toyotas and Fords mixed together in the lead draft. They're being led by Denny Hamlin. Matt DiBenedetto and Martin Truex Jr. back to the corner.
And they come all single file into turn number 3. Chase Elliott continuing to try and hang with that group. He'll do so despite losing a lap to the leaders, just a couple of laps to go.
Matter of fact, Elliott's going to get some drafting help from Kyle Busch. Busch will step out. He'll get behind Chase Elliott, try to shove Elliott forward. Now another one will jump up there. You got the car of Kevin Harvick. All of a sudden, 3 cars will step to the high side.
Kevin Harvick goes scrambling up to the high side, right behind Kyle Busch, right behind Chase Elliott. bottom lane of the racetrack. Race leader Denny Hamlin still showing the way for that group.
I think it's safe to say right now, Toyotas and Fords are set to stay on the racetrack for another lap or two, because as I look down, I can see Hamlin's crew representing the Toyotas. They're in no hurry. Kevin Harvick's crew, they appear to be in no hurry, representing the Ford. So, Dave, I think for the time being, they're content to race.
Couple of very different strategies here, Jeff. No doubt about it. One group that's already made its way to pit road, and a couple of more groups that seem to have no intention of doing so.
Chase Elliott, after getting some drafting help, is starting to make his way to the front of this lead draft, so much so that Denny Hamlin, the race leader, will jump up in front of that lap car of Chase Elliott.
Does that in a hurry. Chase Elliott bearing down right behind the race leader, and then behind Chase Elliott, we find Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick lining up off the bottom of turn 4.
And it looks like some of the Fords are going to peel off the racetrack. They'll now jam the brakes, hit 55 miles per hour, or at least try to stay under legal speed limit on pit road and make their way in. Matt DiBenedetto's in front of Kim Kuhn.
Yes, it's the brigade of Fords right now. Matt DiBenedetto just a little bit jumpy, that car, in terms of the handling. It is going to be right side tires only. Brad Keselowski, fuel only. Chase Briscoe also in as more cars make their way down to you, Steve Post.
Ryan Blaney in the very second pit stop down here. It's going to be at least right side tires, fuel for him. There's Ryan Newman in. No tires for Michael McDowell. Right side tires for Kevin Harvick. All down and away, the bow tie group, or the blue oval group, Dylan Welch.
And a mixture down here. We had Chris Buescher in, who just took fuel. Same with Anthony Alfredo. Cole Custer in, took fuel and right sides as well. The Fords done with their stops. That leaves just the Toyotas left to make stops here in this cycle.
And here they come right now. Quick update, though. Kevin Harvick busted too fast. Chris Buescher busted too fast. Man, you can't make a mistake on pit road. Steve Post, here comes now the Toyotas, including Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin has the very first pit box. Here he comes, 55 miles per hour, 3, 2, 1, right on the sign. Looks like just going to be fuel only for Denny Hamlin. 2 pit boxes behind him, Christopher Bell. 2 pit boxes behind him, Kyle Busch. Fuel only for the trio of Toyotas down here on this end of pit road, Dylan Welch.
It was the same thing down here in the middle of pit road. Bubba Wallace, Harrison Burton, Martin Truex Jr., all fuel only for the Toyotas.
Denny Hamlin busted for speeding on pit road. So Hamlin's problems will continue after dominating early on. He gives up the race lead by coming to pit lane and gets caught speeding. We'll reset the leaderboard when we come back.
There once was a dad who set out on a great quest to find the perfect Coca-Cola flavors at his family's request. So he went into a convenience store and grabbed the Coke Cherry Vanilla, Coke Cherry, and more. At dinner, they sipped Coke flavors and rejoiced, for everyone made their own delicious choice. Coca-Cola flavors, unbelievably delicious.
This is Steve Post of Wing Nation. Join Aaron Evernham and me every Tuesday and Thursday as we talk dirt, sprint car dirt tracks, dirt racing, dirt racers, dirt news, from the National Touring Series to your local track. We cover sprint car racing coast to coast. Live Tuesdays at noon Eastern on wingnation.com and Wing Nation's Facebook page, or catch the podcast on podcast platforms or YouTube. Your go-to for 10 years of award-winning sprint car coverage, Wing Nation.
Problems begin to compound for Denny Hamlin. He started today's race at the back of the field after being on the pole position for unapproved adjustments. We told you just now he got busted for speeding on the pit stop. On his pass-through penalty, Denny Hamlin busted for speeding again. Hamlin again will have to make a pass-through penalty under the green flag. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the new book, The Great Devaluation, is the #1 business book in the world. Hi, my name's Adam Barata, 2-time national best-selling author and owner of Advantage Gold, hands down the highest-rated gold firm in the country. We help investors put physical metals inside their IRAs. My first book, Gold is a Better Way, sparked a movement. My new book, The Great Devaluation, is the #1 book in the country. I believe every investor should own physical metals. It's why I'm giving away my best-selling book to anyone with an IRA with over $100,000 for free. Call 800-900-8000 to get the bestseller, The Great Devaluation, sent directly to your door. That's 800-900-8000. The new decision is now obvious. Don't you deserve to do it with the best? Call 800-900-8000 for your free book today. That's 800-900-8000.
Hey, race fans, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're listening to Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, and that's the bottom line, because I said so.
Back here at the Talladega Superspeedway, working under the green flag, Denny Hamlin with not one, but two pass-through penalties because of successive speeding penalties, finds himself now one lap down. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Motor Racing Network is live at the Talladega Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama, as we run the Geico 500 today. So glad you can join us. My name's Alex Hayden. Alongside is Jeff Striegel. Dave Moody is out in turns 1 and 2. Mike Bagley's at the end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Kurt Becker is over there in turns 3 and 4. And on the pit lane and care center area, we got Steve Post, Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn.
And Ryan Preece, who is right now working off turn number 4 as the race leader. And this field now is jumbled up all the way around the racetrack. Preece now leading over William Byron, Kurt Busch 3rd, Matt DiBenedetto 4th, Brad Keselowski 5th, rest of the top 10, Cole Custer, Michael McDowell. We need to touch on that. He has been in and around the top 10 all day long. The winner of the Daytona 500 having another good run here this afternoon. Then you get back to Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace is 9th, and Christopher Bell is 10th. You've got 3 Chevrolets, you've got 4 Fords, and 3 Toyotas. Remember, they all came to pit road on their own sequence.
And Denny Hamlin again has fallen one lap down due to the pass-through penalties that he had to serve, not one but 2 of them, for speeding during that green flag pit stop.
So right now we are working just a lap and a half away from completing lap 100, 99 next time by. So we're at 89 that remain. Why don't we take a quick look at the keys to winning today, presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer gives you multiple quote options so you can pick what's right for you. You can see yourself at progressive.com.
NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace in our NASCAR Live pre-race show set the keys to winning today's race. He said the first one was find a drafting partner, ideally before the race starts. Make sure you find your buddies out there, and then when the green flag flies, try to stay with them all day long. For the most part, everybody's done a nice job doing that, according to Rusty Wallace's keys to the race, with the exception of a couple of drivers who've been busted for speeding during the green flag pit stops. They have found themselves out there by themselves. Another one that Rusty Wallace said was pit with your drafting partners. A+ for the majority. Again, an F for some of those drivers who lost their partners because of penalties. And the final one, with 10 laps to go, get to the front of the field. Try not to sit around and wait too long. You're much better off if you're already at the front of the field with 10 to go.
Keys to winning today brought to you by Progressive Insurance. See for yourself at progressive.com.
We continue to work under the green flag here with 20 laps to go in stage number 2. The field, for the most part, is packed up right now. They exit the backstretch, head for turn 3 in front of Kurt Becker.
Here they come now. Ryan Preece up to the high side of the racetrack. He shows the way with William Byron, Kurt Busch, Matt DiBenedetto, all lining up behind him. They work their way off corner number 4 and back to the tri-oval.
And this is a pack of 14, all running about a second and a half apart, led by Ryan Preece, but maybe not for long. William
idea. He's going to go to the inside of the racetrack. Again, drafting help from Kurt Busch, from Matt DiBenedetto, and from Brad Keselowski. New leader in turn 2, it's William Byron.
There's William Byron. He'll take his red, white, and blue Chevrolet to the top of the leaderboard here at Talladega. He's got a lot of drafting help behind him. William is on the bottom of the racetrack with Kurt Busch angled up there. Matt DiBenedetto, Keselowski, and Custer, the top 5.
All of that traffic coming up off the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Ross Chastain is up toward the high side. Ryan Preece losing all kinds of positions as he got kicked out of line and slid back to about the 8th spot.
Here they are back off turn number 4. To the tri-oval they come. The first car one lap down now is Ross Chastain. He was just put a lap down. As a matter of fact, he still rides in that lead pack. Just 2 cars behind him is another lap down car, and that's Daniel Suarez.
That'll be a pretty good race to try and hang on there till the end of the stage. So lead lap cars, lap down cars, everybody with something to race for right now.
Here comes Matt DiBenedetto. He'll charge to the outside of Kurt Busch. He'll get the run. Busch tried to throw the block, can't do it. Byron's going to throw the block to try to keep Matt DiBenedetto in the rear view and try to keep the lead.
Matt DiBenedetto is on the mind of about everyone over in turn number 4, trying to see what he's going to do next. In the meantime, Cole Custer says, if you can't do anything with him, I will. Here comes Custer racing to the inside of Matty D.
And goodbye to Kurt Busch. He came across the line last lap in second, and he is going to fall now outside of the top 10. They freight trained him to the inside and to the outside, and there may be some smoke now coming from the number 1 Monster Energy Chevrolet of Kurt Busch. In fact, there's no doubt there is smoke trailing from that car. We'll follow up in a moment. All the while, William Byron out front at Talladega.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me. Hello, I'm Flo from Progressive. And did you know?
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil option at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $29.99. Syntec is formulated for today's engines to minimize friction, heat, and wear. Try Syntec today exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Back to 70 miles an hour because we are back under the caution flag only for the 4th time here this afternoon. We said Kurt Busch, we saw smoke, and now, Kim Kuhn, you can explain why we saw all that smoke.
Yeah, there's just oil pouring out of the left front, smoke billowing out of that car after they lifted the hood. They're not sure what's causing it, but there is oil just pouring out of that machine. The car, the right front, actually did catch on fire when Kurt brought it to a stop, so he had to turn off the engine there. NASCAR emergency crews had to come out with the smoke and fire extinguishers, and right now they're just up under the hood trying to diagnose it. Before we saw Kurt come in, he did frantically come on the radio and said, "I've got smoke everywhere in the cockpit." He said maybe there's an oil line loose, so right now they continue to look at that Monster Energy Chevrolet Camaro.
While pit road remains closed, so we need to pass along some tough information. First and foremost, back on Friday, NASCAR family lost a 4-time NASCAR Cup Series winner in Charging Charlie Glotzback. He passed away Friday at his home in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and he has some ties certainly here to Talladega Superspeedway. He was the inaugural pole winner back in 1969 with a lap of 199.4 miles per hour, but he, like so many others, sat out that race in protest. They thought the tires weren't safe enough, and his last start in the NASCAR Cup Series was right here at Talladega in 1992 in the Die Hard 500. Charging Charlie Glotzback was 82 years of age. Also yesterday here at Talladega in the ARCA Menard Series General Tire 200, driver Derek Lancaster was involved in a hard crash over on the backstretch. The car erupted into flames. His wife, Beth, posted on social media, "Thanks to everybody for the thoughts and prayers." He was burned, 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his hands, arms, neck, and face. He is on a ventilator over at the University of Alabama Burn Center as they continue to treat him. So thoughts and prayers to Derek Lancaster as well.
Right now, William Byron leading here at Talladega as we work under the caution flag. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The lady in black doesn't age. She just gets tougher. And Throwback Weekend is when she likes to remind all the friends, families, drivers, and dreamers just how they got here. Business up front and parties in the back. Over 70 years of history held together with one famous black stripe. Too tough to tame? I guess you'll have to find out. Darlington Throwback Weekend, May 7th through 9th on FS1.
You might think your old vehicle is nothing more than a piece of junk, but to children in our racing communities, your vehicle can help them live happier and healthier lives. Join others in your community. Put your vehicle to good use and donate it today. It's easy. We'll pick it up for free. Act now to have your car, truck, boat, or other vehicle towed and auctioned off. You'll get a tax deduction, and the NASCAR Foundation gets the proceeds, all for the kids. Call 844-NASCAR-9 today. That's 844-NASCAR-9.
This is Ryan Blaney on your 24/7 home for NASCAR. Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 9. Stream it on your phone and at home on Sirius XM connected devices and speakers.
Geico 500 NASCAR Cup Series working under the caution flag for the fourth time this afternoon. 21 different lead changes, and that happened and occurred at the start-finish line. Numerous more being exchanged around this 2.66-mile racetrack, the Superspeedway of Talladega. Pit road is open, but at the moment, Alex Hayden, it doesn't appear as though anybody wants to take advantage.
No, it doesn't look that way, as we've got now 14 laps to go here in stage number 2. It looks like a lot of these drivers are going to just stay out there and opt for some track position. However, some lead lap cars from deeper in the field will, in fact, peel off the racetrack and make their way in. Dylan Welch, a few of them begin to pit in front of you.
And one of those is Martin Truex Jr., who is in. The crew goes around to change right side tires, and we'll see if they swing around to the left side. A little hiccup on the right front there, and they will indeed change 4 tires. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was in as well just a lap or so ago, trying to repair that big hole in the left front from that damage in that accident earlier. Steve Post.
I believe the drivers pitting now are looking for a quicker pit stop during the stage break, as Alex Bowman is the first one of this group down and away. He was in. It was 4-tire Sunoco Racing Fuel. Ryan Blaney was the second one off from pit road here. 4-tire Sunoco Racing Fuel and Kevin Harvick. So they have 4 tires now. That means during the stage break, which is coming up not too far down the road, they may be able to do it on 2 or no tires. Most of these cars are toward the back half of the lead lap cars, so not nearly as much to lose. Kim Kuhn?
Had Quinn Halfin as well as Chase Elliott. He brought that Napa Chevrolet down. They took 4-tire Sunoco fuel and made a chassis adjustment. The handling of that race car just still not to Chase's liking, so hopefully getting a little bit closer to where he needs it.
13 to go in stage number 2. It's going to get crazy here at Talladega when we put them back under the green flag.
Well, it's come down to the final lap of the Brad's Lunch 500, and right now pizza is coming in on toppings.
Just a lap to go. Salad has a healthy lead, and oh no, stuffed jalapenos has created a hot mess with that pileup. Good thing paper towels are in the mix.
But wait, someone has emerged from the flames. It's steak burrito and grilled chickens. They're nub and neck.
And there's the checkered flag. Steak burrito wins it by a bean. Good choice, Brad.
When you have the need for feed, find it on the DoorDash app. DoorDash, official partner of NASCAR.
This is Kyle Rickey. Join me and Hannah Newhouse each week on NASCAR Coast to Coast. We talk with drivers from NASCAR's national and international touring series and from your local NASCAR track. I'll talk with the Whelen Modified Tour Driver of the Week, and we give you all the latest race results. Watch on MRN.com, Facebook, or YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. NASCAR Coast to Coast, grassroots racing coverage you won't find anywhere else.
Going to take a minute. Oil dry all the way down the Alabama Gang super stretch, and that means that cleanup continues. So we'll step away. Byron DiBenedetto, Keselowski, Ryan Preece, and C. Bell, Christopher Bell. That's your top 5, 108 complete from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
If you're a man aged 45 to 80 with a history of heart disease or stroke, please listen closely to this message. Some men with a history of heart disease or stroke also have low testosterone levels, also known as hypogonadism. Symptoms of low testosterone hypogonadism include decreased sexual desire, fatigue, depressed mood, and loss of body hair. If you've had a heart attack or stroke in the past and experienced the symptoms of low testosterone hypogonadism, please consider our research study that is underway throughout the U.S. Qualified participants may receive testosterone replacement therapy or placebo and study-related care at no cost, as well as compensation for their time. Please call now to speak with the research study coordinator. Dial 888-519-0606. That number again is 888-519-0606. Once again, 888-519-0606. 0606.
This is Bubba Wallace on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. Catch SiriusXM NASCAR Radio live or pull up your favorite shows anytime on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Cleanup continues. A quick check out there. Mike Bagley, you're there at the end of the super stretch. What's going on?
Well, they have applied a lot of speedy dry, and they've come through here, and they have blown it off, and they've had a couple of vacuum trucks come through. Safety crews have left the scene over here on the backstretch, so we're about to go back racing.
So we'll get the opportunity, hopefully, to get the one to go very quickly. Before that, though, let's take a look at the leaderboard brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Whether it's next day delivery or getting involved in their local communities, Napa goes above and beyond to serve you because their motor never quits. That's Napa know-how.
108 complete. William Byron out front and again under caution flag. Matt DiBenedetto makes up second, third. Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece. He's been solid all day long. Ryan Preece right now fourth. Christopher Bell, fifth. Kyle Busch, sixth. Cole Custer, seventh. Michael McDowell, eighth. Bubba Wallace, ninth. And Chase Briscoe now into the top 10, and he's 10th.
And we've just gotten the one to go signal. 11th will be Austin Dillon. 12th, Ryan Newman. 13th is Harrison Burton. 14th is Anthony Alfredo. 15th, Alex Bowman. 16th, Ryan Blaney. 17th, Martin Truex Jr. 18th, Eric Almirola. 19th, Tyler Reddick. And Chase Elliott was 20th.
Quinn Houff is 21st. Corey LaJoie, 22nd. Eric Jones, 23rd. Chris Buescher, 24th. J.J. Yaley, 25th. B.J. McLeod, 26th. Kaz Grala, 27th. Kevin Harvick, 28th. Ross Chastain, 29th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. being shown 30th, although at the moment he is on pit road.
31st, Justin Haley. 32nd is Denny Hamlin, still a lap down. Cody Ware is 33rd. 34th, Timmy Hill. Daniel Suarez, 35th. Joey Gase, 36th. Kurt Busch out of the race in 37th. Josh Bilicki is 38th. Joey Logano, 39th. And Kyle Larson, 40th.
Tip of the cap to the driver running just outside of the top 10 right now in position number 13. Making his NASCAR Cup Series debut, Alex Hayden. He's just a youngster, 20-year-old driver from Huntersville, North Carolina, Harrison Burton.
Having a fantastic drive. He really is for that Gaunt Brothers racing team. He's been patient all day long. Yeah, he had a penalty on pit road a little earlier when they drugged the fuel can off the pit lane, so he had to go to the back to serve that penalty there. So Harrison Burton up to 13th here, having a nice day. And I know his family very proud of what he's doing. Yep. I'm sure his mom, Kim, is probably a ball of nerves right now.
Jumping up and down, afraid to look, but she has to because her son's doing pretty darn well here so far this afternoon. We're getting down to it. 109 complete, 79 to go. Here comes the Geico restart here as they work off four back through the tri-oval. Again, up front, it's Byron and DiBenedetto. Brad and Ryan make up row two. Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch, row three.
Back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes in the air, and we're racing again at Talladega. On the outside lane, trying to get the jump is William Byron. However, that inside real estate will be occupied.
Matt DiBenedetto has been strong all afternoon, and that's not going to change here. He powers to the inside lane and into the lead with drafting help from Brad Keselowski. Keselowski now will go to the inside of William Byron for second.
Side by side, they will race for that spot as they make their way onto the Alabama Gang super stretch. Here comes Matt DiBenedetto. Oh, goes up, tries to throw the block. Byron was there. DiBenedetto will dart back to the bottom. Here comes Byron on the outside.
Byron, with just too much momentum, draws alongside to the outside of DiBenedetto. They go door to door, racing their way up off the bottom of turn number 4. The race for the lead is on.
When it works, it's magic. When it doesn't, it's disaster. Talking about throwing blocks, and Matt almost had a disaster on his hands there. No problem, though. He will give up the race lead at the line. That will be lead change 22, Chevrolet out front.
Maybe not for long, though, because Matt DiBenedetto is on the comeback trail. He's got help on his back bumper from Brad Keselowski and Christopher Bell. DiBenedetto to the inside for the lead.
Here's a 3-wide line breaking out. Chase Elliott mid-pack trying to get the boys together, trying to make some hay. The others jump up in line in front of him. Michael McDowell will now lead that outside line in a 3-wide battle for fourth.
Got Kyle Busch right there to his left. Kyle's working the middle lanes of the banking, and then Brad Keselowski is further downstairs. For now, Keselowski has that fourth position.
Stay right on that double yellow line for the moment. Now, The car in front of him is Matt DiBenedetto will dart to the right. Brad Keselowski will follow him. DiBenedetto goes to second. Matt DiBenedetto wants the lead. He'll get it at the start-finish line. Now Kyle Busch is the man on the move.
Four drivers working together and working well. It puts DiBenedetto to the lead. Now Keselowski will have to fall back a little bit as Kyle Busch pulls up on the back bumper of DiBenedetto.
DiBenedetto now the lead car right down the middle of the back straightaway. It is DiBenedetto and Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace right there behind Kyle with Truex and a side-by-side battle with Byron on the brew.
Here's William Byron trying to take the 5th position. He's got Chris Buescher there to the outside. Ryan Preece is on to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's actually going to line up right behind William Byron.
Oh, Matt DiBenedetto takes Kyle Busch all the way to the apron and then some. Great save by Kyle Busch. It would have ended his day. Matt tried to throw the block. Kyle had to take evasive action. Big moment for Kyle Busch, and that's going to cost Matt the lead.
It's going to cost Matt DiBenedetto the lead, but it's going to move Bubba Wallace to the front of the pack. Damaged roof and all from driving under Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace to the front of the field.
He will go from the bottom of the racetrack to the top of the racetrack. Seal off the advance to the outside line. So it's Wallace, then William Byron, and here comes Chris Buescher. He will now run third.
He's got Brad Keselowski trying to work his way back up through the top 5 after losing a few positions. So Buescher to third and Keselowski to 4th, but off turn 4, Bubba Wallace leading at Talladega.
Front 4 go single file from about 5th or 6th on back. They're stacked up 2 and 3 wide. 2 of those drivers trying to remount the challenge and come back up the field. Matt DiBenedetto and Kyle Busch, neither one at the moment having a whole lot of success.
DiBenedetto hasn't been too far from the action. This is about as far back as we've seen him this afternoon, but he's trying to rally the troops with some help on his back bumper from Elliott.
Front 6 cars have broken out into single file formation. First car out of line is in the middle. That is Martin Truex Jr., and he is racing for a spot on the tail end of the top 10. Matter of fact, Truex is going to race wheel to wheel with Harrison Burton.
Trying to take the 9th position away from Burton. Truex is working to the bottom side of turn number 4. Denny Hamlin going to slide down in front of him. That inside line trying to advance.
Remember now, Denny Hamlin still running 1 lap down, but he could get a lap back here at the end of the stage, which is coming quickly. Only 6 to go. Bubba Wallace across the line. Outside lane. Denny Hamlin way downstairs trying to lead the inside lane.
Digging hard on the bottom of the racetrack, but he's going to lose that lead position in the low line because about 5 cars just dropped down in front of him, including the leader, Bubba Wallace.
Bubba goes from the top, now back to the bottom. He will lead the inside line. They make their way up the back straightaway. It's now Bubba Wallace and Brad Keselowski 1 and 2. Michael McDowell 3rd. Ryan Blaney 4th. And then Hamlin and Byron are side by side.
Byron has the 5th position. Chris Buescher goes 6th to the outside of Hamlin's lap car. Martin Truex Jr., Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece completing the top 10.
5 laps to go in stage number 2. Bubba Wallace has everybody in the rear view mirror for the moment. He hugs the double yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. Brad Keselowski and Michael McDowell with Ryan Blaney are stacked up there. Blaney looks to the right and sees William Byron.
Byron is there in the outside lane, still hanging on in a side-by-side battle for the number 4 position. Blaney down low, Byron up high, then Denny Hamlin alongside Chris Buescher.
Everybody holding their lines now. No one needing feeling the need to jump out and make a bold move. Everybody content to follow Bubba Wallace, the race leader, off the end of the back straightaway.
Got Brad Keselowski squared up right behind him, coming back through turn number 4. Michael McDowell is also there on the low lane of the racetrack, but it is Bubba Wallace out front.
4 laps to go in stage number 2. Remember stage 1 won by Matt DiBenedetto. That was his first ever stage win. Well, Bubba Wallace has never won a stage, at least not yet, but he's got company. A new man. How about Michael McDowell?
McDowell to the inside now in a side-by-side battle for the number 2 position. It's McDowell down low. Brad Keselowski up high for the runner-up spot.
The fast lane is the middle lane now. That's where Bubba will take the field out of turn 2. They'll drift very slightly to driver's right. Here's Keselowski. He'll look right. Bubba throws the block. Bubba now dives for the bottom to seal off that advance.
That's because Michael McDowell is coming fast along the bottom side of the racetrack. Got a push there from Ryan Blaney. McDowell all the way up now to the 2nd position.
Now let's see what Michael McDowell can do with the race leader Bubba Wallace to the line. 3 laps to go in stage number 2. McDowell sideways in the tri-oval, gathers it back up as he switches lanes. That puts Ryan Blaney on the back bumper of the race leader.
The Daytona 500 champion hanging on and in the mix again this afternoon here at Talladega. Wallace leads the way, then side by side for second. Blaney down low, McDowell up high.
Wallace starts at the bottom. Now he'll drift to the middle. He sees McDowell coming. He will throw the block and keep the lead. McDowell now fakes low. Now Bubba will throw the block. Now back to the outside goes McDowell. Blaney storms down to the bottom, and Bubba was sideways in 3.
All kinds of scrambling for position behind the race leader, Bubba Wallace. By the time it all sorts out, Ryan Blaney has come out of that crowd. He's back up to the second spot.
And that got kicked out. Michael McDowell, he will no longer be running inside the top 5. Last time by 197 and a pack of 18. Goodbye, Ryan Blaney. Denny Hamlin just moved Blaney from behind the race leader. And here comes Kyle Busch.
They've gone to the long knives now as we get late in the stage. Wallace by a car length. Kyle Busch now surges to second. McDowell down low, and here comes Denny Hamlin. Still a lap down, but leading a line of fast cars.
Side by side in the 3rd place position. Denny trying to get back on the lead lap. Bubba throws the block. Keselowski into Hamlin. Shoves Hamlin right into Bubba, and Keselowski changed lanes.
Here comes Brad from right to left, diving to the bottom of turn number 4. Goes blasting by to the inside of the Hamlin lap car and sets his sights on Bubba Wallace.
Keep in mind, Denny Hamlin is a lap down, trying to get back on the lead lap, and they're crashing. Martin Truex Jr. gets turned. He's in the outside wall. Chase Elliott has got damage. Alex Bowman with damage. William Byron with damage as well. 3 of the 4 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets involved in the incident here in the middle of the tri-oval. Alex Bowman with severe damage to the right front. He's going to grab a gear and pull away. I think Chase Elliott, Jeff, may have gotten away with that with just a spin and perhaps flat spotting the tires.
You know, as I look around, it may be all of the drivers that you mentioned able to grab a gear and pull away. Truex definitely made contact, I believe, with the outside retaining wall. Somebody did. It looked like Truex. Hamlin, though, is torn up. You know, as they worked off turn number 2, it was Bubba Wallace, it was Brad Keselowski, and then Denny slid up the racetrack. Brad slid up the racetrack, and I'm not so sure we didn't see the exact same thing that ended stage 1 happen again.
It actually happened well in front of them. Denny Hamlin got turned. Hamlin, again, was a lap down, racing to get back on the lead lap. Martin Truex Jr. got in the right rear corner of Denny Hamlin and sent him with the right front corner of that FedEx Toyota into the safer barrier. Denny Hamlin's got significant damage to the right front corner of that Toyota Camry. So a tough break all the way around for a couple of the Joe Gibbs Racing entries, and especially the Hendrick Motorsports cars.
And now here comes Bubba Wallace. By the way, the caution is out. Bubba Wallace across the line. He will score the stage 2 win. And like Matt DiBenedetto did earlier, his first stage win of his career. It's Bubba Wallace leading under caution. Stage 2 is done. Brad Keselowski second, then Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, and Ryan Blaney.
Goodyear has been trusted by NASCAR drivers for nearly 70 years. We built their reputation by going above and beyond expectations, always focused on the road ahead, whether that's 200 laps around a track or 20 trips to the store and back. Goodyear knows we reach our greatest potential by moving forward. That's what makes us better every time we drive. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Goodyear, more driven.
If we go to page 11 in the presentation, you'll see that we're on target to meet our quarterly.
Some things never change, like nobody can resist popping plastic bubbles, and Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
As I was saying, we're on target to meet. Excuse me, Miss Hansen.
Sorry, almost done.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
I am here and now, where stories you pass down are born. I am where drivers become legends, and legends become the new kings. I'm moving forward, and if you really try, you can catch me. I am NASCAR. The NASCAR Cup Series brought to you by Busch Beer at Talladega. Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Gear up. Visit the NASCAR shop online to find all of your favorite officially licensed NASCAR product. The NASCAR shop is the official online store of NASCAR and your destination for all of your favorite hats, t-shirts, diecast, and more. Whether tailgating, home gating, or anything in between, visit NASCAR.com/shop for the widest assortment and best selection of NASCAR gear today.
This is Matt DiBenedetto on your 24/7 home for NASCAR. SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 9. Stream it on your phone and at home on SiriusXM connected devices and speakers.
Motor Racing Network's coverage from Talladega Superspeedway is brought to you by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. Buy Wampler. Self-employed? You may qualify for up to $50,000 in PPP loans. Apply now at wamply.com/NASCAR. Buy Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. Buy Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, the official pain relief cream of NASCAR. It works fast and you won't stink. Buy Nashville Superspeedway. For tickets to the June 20th NASCAR race weekend, go to NashvilleSuperspeedway.com. Buy Advance Auto Parts. Fram now has their own line of motor oil and fluids, and it's only at Advance Auto Parts. Buy Coca-Cola. Together tastes better. And buy Xfinity X5. Internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR.
Working the caution for the 5th time today here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the multi-car crash here in the Tri-Oval. Right at the end of stage number 2, the top 10 finishers got points. They were Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, and Ryan Blaney. Ryan Preece was 6th, Chris Buescher 7th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 8th, Christopher Bell 9th, and Austin Dillon was 10th. Some of those beat-up race cars were on the pit lane a moment ago in front of Steve Post.
We had Denny Hamlin down here, just a lot of damage. The right side is tore off from that car, a lot of damage there. And Alex Bowman had right front damage on it. He also is reporting the suspension is off, or the steering is off, meaning possible suspension damage. That's some damage repair, but Kim Kuhn, we've got live, on-time, live pit stops happening in front of you.
That's right. We've got Matt DiBenedetto in. We've got Brad Keselowski and Ryan Preece in. It looks like it's going to be 4 tires for all 3 of those drivers. Also, Chase Briscoe in, 4 tires, Sunoco fuel for him. And a couple of laps ago, we had Chase Elliott and teammate William Byron both in for damage repair after that stop. Dylan Welch?
Bubba Wallace was in, said clean air is good. He took right side tires, but had to steer around Chris Buescher's car, who was pitted right in front of him. Buescher took 4 tires. Tyler Reddick took 4 tires as well as trying to get the car off the splitter. They made an adjustment for that. Austin Dillon was in as well, 4 tires for him. Martin Truex Jr. came in before this cycle of stops under the caution flag and just repaired a little bit of left front damage on the hood area, and the left rear is pushed forward a little bit as well. So it looked mainly cosmetic on the Truex car.
Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, and Bubba Wallace, the first 3 off of pit road. The Xfinity fastest lap of the race so far was run by Bubba Wallace. He turned a lap at 202.770 miles per hour. Xfinity X5, internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR.
On your ride home, catch NASCAR Today to keep up with the latest.
Heck, it's always changing, it seems like, in NASCAR.
Every weekday, you'll hear from the top newsmakers in the sport.
I think it sounds really, kind of cool.
Plus, some fun peeks behind the scenes.
Bedtime is kind of like last lap around Talladega. Guaranteed chaos. Somebody's going to go away mad.
I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Hi, this is Mike Bagley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
We were so competitive week in and week out, and you look back and probably could have won 12 or 15 if you'd done a few things here and there.
We'll take you behind the scenes of NASCAR competition.
Awesome job. Great work, guys. Take care, man. I want first, not second.
As well as break down the upcoming race weekend and more.
I think the guys who run dirt are going to have a big advantage.
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
Here at the Talladega Superspeedway, a handful of other cars leaving pit road. Dylan Welch was down there a moment ago. We'll follow up with the damage to Martin Truex Jr.'s car in just a moment. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Has your workforce moved from the office to the home or the garage, or maybe your neighbor's cabin that has the Wi-Fi password 1234? I'm George Kurtz, founder and CEO of CrowdStrike. If your company has been forced to leave the office and move all your applications to the cloud, there's a whole new world of threats you have to worry about, including ransomware. But we've got you covered. CrowdStrike revolutionized endpoint and cloud workload security by making it easy to harness the power of the cloud and AI to identify and stop the most advanced cyber attacks, even those that have never been seen before. Now, we're revolutionizing where you can work safely, anywhere. Try CrowdStrike Falcon free today and protect your data and employees, whether they're working from the office, their kitchen table, or a vacation rental. Welcome to anywhere. We stop breaches here too. Access the Falcon platform free at crowdstrike.com/anywhere.
24/7, 365-day coverage of all things NASCAR is found right here. This is Kevin Harvick on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Working under the caution flag here at the Talladega Superspeedway for a multi-car crash involving Cole Custer, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Dylan Welch, Martin Truex Jr.
That's right. And just listening to the radio as he and crew chief James Small continue to diagnose exactly what the problem is, it sounds like the toe is off center. They're trying to diagnose exactly how many degrees or what the angle of the issue is. But as we said, it mainly is just a cosmetic issue, which obviously here at Talladega, you don't want any sort of buffering or damage to the body that could affect the airflow over the race car. But basically he nosed into the wall, and so it pushed the left side of the hood up kind of over the left front tire. So they had the heavy duty duct tape, the bare bond out to try and tape that down to prevent some air getting underneath that. And then the left rear as well was just sort of pushed forward in the quarter panel area, kind of up against the left rear tire, but it didn't look like it was rubbing the left rear or anything. But the signboard is out, and I believe Truex is coming down again here. This will be the third stop since that accident, just to try to get it patched up as best they can and make sure they don't have any rubs or anything that's going to cause any sort of a major issue. So Truex is in now, and the crew's going to go over the wall here and try and get this thing patched up a little bit more.
Alex Bowman is in, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., also Chase Elliott making stops. Ryan Blaney, by the way, is at the front of the field as we work caution here on lap 124.
This is your new home speaking. I know you haven't moved in yet, but I need some favors. Could you dust the blinds? The dust makes me feel dusty. Also, we could save a lot of money if you bundled your home and car insurance with Geico. It's super easy to do online or over the phone. Last favor, when you move in, could you stick to one aesthetic? The last owner had a weird mix of floral wallpaper and nautical tchotchkes, and I can't have another identity crisis.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Let me get right back to you. Sandra, those banners go out to make. Can you pack them? Indeed. Those unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. On machine 4? Like at Monica's print shop. To fulfill orders on time, she needs to get started hiring right away. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Hopefully getting back under the green flag here shortly. Pit stops have been concluded for all of those other than the ones that have sustained some damage. Stenhouse pulling away. Truex still there. Bowman still there. Chase Elliott also has had some work done, and he too has left pit road. So hopefully another lap or two, and we'll be back under the green flag from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
At Peter Millar, we believe that innovation in performance apparel is a never-ending pursuit. Each season, we aim to push our designs and their function to the next level. We're obsessed with optimizing every detail in cutting-edge performance wear. Our Peter Millar Crown Sport Apparel is trusted on tour by PGA professionals like Harris English and Lee Westwood, with sharp style to keep pace with your active lifestyle. We're launching new must-haves this season, like the Solar Cool Quarter Zip, a lightweight mid-layer built with a revolutionary fabric that reflects the infrared rays of the sun. And the Hyperlight Apollo, which brings a fresh look to our Peter Millar sneaker lineup, delivering incredible comfort and dynamic design for off-course wear. Browse the entire Peter Millar Crown Sport collection today at petermillar.com and explore all new styles that redefine all-purpose performance wear. Get free shipping, effortless returns, and receive a complimentary gift with your purchase at petermillar.com/bonus. petermillar.com/bonus.
This is Chris Buescher on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 9. To catch SiriusXM NASCAR Radio live or pull up your favorite shows anytime on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Welcome back to the Talladega Superspeedway, the NASCAR Cup Series, running the Geico 500 at Talladega. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here. Light cloud cover, blue sky, 72 degrees. I'm Jeff Striegel alongside Alex Hayden out in the turns today and enjoying this beautiful weather. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Kurt Becker. The guys and gals that have been busy down on pit road have been Steve Post, Kim Kuhn, and Dylan Welch, and they have been busy of late. Ryan Blaney right now is the race leader. Eric Almirola, Bubba Wallace, Michael McDowell, and Kyle Busch, your top five with 62 laps to go.
I think one of the best moves of the race so far was Matt DiBenedetto. He bailed out of that long, big pack of traffic just before the crash because he didn't want to be involved in a crash coming to the end of the stage. Smart job there by that race team and the driver. The field is coming to the Geico Restart Zone. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy.
Damaged vehicle policy claiming Alex Bowman. His day done here at Talladega. Kip Childress behind the wheel of the pace car will wheel it on to pit road, and we are ready to get back underway now. 62 laps away from the checkered flag. At least that's the scheduled distance. On the inside for the restart, Ryan Blaney to his outside, Eric Almirola. Bubba Wallace is going to shove his friend Ryan Blaney, try to get him out front. Meanwhile, you've got Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, and others. Blaney trying to get to the front of the field.
Blaney trying, Blaney succeeding, courtesy of a healthy shove from Bubba Wallace that only now comes to an end at the apex of turns 1 and 2. Blaney now will go to the outside to try and block a move by Eric Almirola.
Almirola started to run to the outside. Blaney takes care of that as Blaney and Almirola lead. They're starting to angle up behind them. Michael McDowell and two other fours are there in 3.
Brad Keselowski to the high side. Now at the bottom side, here comes the Toyota. Bubba Wallace trying to find some more momentum. Going to get some help in the form of Kyle Busch off turn 4.
Also, Harrison Burton making his first career NASCAR Cup Series start. He's going to drop to the low lane as well and follow along in the Toyota orders. Harrison Burton inside the top 10 here on lap 127 as the field thunders to turn 1.
Front of the pack, it is Ryan Blaney. In tow is Eric Almirola right behind him. Michael McDowell rides third. Brad Keselowski fourth. All in the outside lane. First man down low, Bubba Wallace in fifth.
And that is a battle for the number 5 position. Here's Kyle Busch. He's going to break ranks from Bubba, go to the middle. Bubba slides up to block as they fight for real estate. The outside line continues to gain momentum.
That outside line led by Ryan Blaney, then Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Matt DiBenedetto, Austin Dillon, all coming high off turn 4.
Working that inside lane, you've got Bubba Wallace, you've got Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, and Christopher Bell. Others trail behind them. But let's follow that inside lane, pounding away at it, Dave. Bubba Wallace, he's got help down there, but man, they got a long way to go to get to Blaney.
He's got help, but not much of it, Jeff. As of right now, that's only about a 5-car draft. He, Kyle Busch, and a couple of others down low, but that's about it.
The inside line will slide back now into a side-by-side battle for 9th. A couple of drivers taking a look at perhaps maybe getting up in line. Bubba was one of those. He can't get there, but Kyle Busch can. Kyle will leave Bubba high and dry.
Here's Bubba all by himself along the bottom lane of the racetrack, coming through turn number 4. Harrison Burton trying to scramble up and catch up with him, and Bubba now trying to squeeze back in the line.
Race leader is Ryan Blaney, but Steve Post, they may have some problems.
Yes, they do. They have some debris on the hood of that race car, and the water temperature is starting to go up just a little bit. Now, the conventional move that you want to do here is kind of slide up behind somebody and let the vacuum of air move that piece of debris. The problem is is that for him to slide behind somebody, he would probably have to drop back 30 or 35 spots because they're in a high-speed conga line. They're just keeping an eye on the water temperature, hoping this thing will break up a little bit so he can slide up and back behind somebody. But right now, there's no room to do that.
Well, Alex Hayden, this is not a hot dog wrapper we're talking about. This is probably 12 inches by 24 inches. Looks like a piece of tape that is truly covering the entire grill opening for Blaney. He can stay up front. It's good for handling of the race car. It'll melt that engine down here in another lap or two or three.
It's risk versus reward. Do you pull out of line to get behind a bumper of a car and use that difference in air pressure to really change the air and take that debris off of the grill? Or do you stay out there and keep one eye on the racetrack and one eye on the temperature gauges? This is a heck of a gamble right now, and it's a tough spot to be in, Jeff, as you're the race leader.
Well, and like you said, right now he will lead the field down the back straightaway, but all eyes for Ryan Blaney right now will be on the temperature gauge inside that Ford Mustang. He's out front. He needs help, though, Kurt Becker.
He doesn't have it as far as that aspect is concerned. Nothing but open racetrack ahead of him at the head of the line. Ryan Blaney comes blasting back off turn 4.
Here they come back to the tri-oval. Not so sure, but it almost looks like the backside of a Bear Bond piece, which is Bear Bond is that high-speed tape that pit crews use to put on the cars when they get wrinkled up just a bit. It looks like the backside of that, just a piece of paper. Either way, Dave, it's prominent at the front of the car.
No doubt. It covers at least 1/3 of the grill opening, trying to get air into that radiator. Won't be long before he's going to have to do something to get rid of it.
It's a joy, I'm sure, for Ryan Blaney to lead at Talladega, but right now he would probably not mind getting a shuffle backward to be able to pull up behind the car and get that debris off the nose, and he may have his shot right now.
Here comes Eric Almirola, pops out of line, drives to the inside, and Blaney more than happy to let him go by. Eric Almirola at the front of the field.
Perfectly executed, and let's go back and talk about it, and Alex help explain, although it is not off the grill yet. Blaney tucked up right underneath Eric Almirola, so we'll talk about the execution in a moment. Let's follow Ryan Blaney. Dave Moody got the binoculars on the front end of that Ford.
The easy part of the job is done, Jeff, but now Ryan Blaney's got to get up on the back bumper of Eric Almirola. He's close enough. There she goes. The grill is clear for Ryan Blaney.
Now Ryan Blaney will fall in behind race leader Eric Almirola. The debris is off the nose of that Menards Ford Mustang, and right now he looks in the rearview mirror, Kurt, and he's got a ton of cars lined up behind him.
Starting with Michael McDowell, the first up in line behind Blaney, so McDowell in that third position, and Brad Keselowski is also right there, all lining up off turn 4.
It was perfectly executed, but it took a couple of laps to get the plan rolling. Reason being, you've got the front 6 cars are all Ford Mustangs. No, they're not out of the same race shops, but it's the same manufacturer, and they've been working together all day long. And when you have that luxury, Jeff, of the top 6 together, that enables the communication from the pit box to the spotters of all these different teams to try to formulate a plan.
And every car on the racetrack right now is running together nose to tail. It is a huge line of cars, and McDowell had to back them up in order to create the opening. Eric Almirola was then able to pull down, slide up across the nose of Ryan Blaney, and McDowell held on to position number 3. Absolutely flawless effort between Michael McDowell, Ryan Blaney, and Eric Almirola, who now leads.
He does indeed. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. It's only at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations.
54 laps to go, 134 down. They are logging laps, riding high around this racetrack, getting down closer to the finish. Eric Almirola leading, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, and Chris Buescher, top 5. Matt DiBenedetto, 6th. Austin Dillon, 7th. Ryan Preece, 8th. Chase Briscoe running 9th, and Eric Jones is 10th.
Running 11th is Ross Chastain. 12th is Bubba Wallace. Tyler Reddick is 13th. Kyle Busch 14th, and Christopher Bell 15th. J.J. Ailey 16th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 17th. Quinn Houff is 18th, and Cole Custer 19th. Anthony Alfredo 20th.
Kevin Harvick 21st. Ryan Newman 22nd. Martin Truex 23rd. 24th. Chase Elliott 25th. William Byron Harrison Burton, 26th. Timmy Hill, 27th. Cody Ware, 28th. 29th of BJ McLeod, and 30th is Corey LaJoy.
31st, Kaz Gralla. 32nd, Daniel Suarez. 33rd is Justin Haley. 34th, Joey Gase. 35th, Denny Hamlin. 36th, Kurt Busch back on the racetrack. 37th, Josh Bilicki out of the race, and 38th is Alex Bowman. Out of the race, 39th, Joey Logano, and out of the race in last, in 40th place, that is Kyle Larson. We work under the green flag with 52 laps to go.
Want to improve your NASCAR knowledge? Make sure to check out ISM Connect's digital screens throughout the racetrack for the latest fun facts, history, and racing stats. You can also find useful information about the race schedule and more. ISM partners with over 200 properties across the country to bring you a more engaging fan experience.
This is Steve Post of Wing Nation. Join Aaron Evernham and me every Tuesday and Thursday as we talk dirt, sprint car dirt tracks, dirt racing, dirt racers, dirt news, from the National Touring Series to your local track. We cover sprint car racing coast to coast. Live Tuesdays at noon Eastern on wingnation.com and Wing Nation 3. Your go-to for 10 years of award-winning sprint car coverage, Wing Nation.
Field continues to work in a long single file outside lane train. Wonder why that's taking place. We'll follow up on pit road here in a bit. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You need more than speed to take home the checkered flag. The same goes for your internet. That's why Xfinity XFi is more than just fast. XFi delivers coverage, control, and security to keep your network on track. Catch every lap with excellent coverage throughout your entire home. Or bring your crew in for a pit stop with control that lets you pause Wi-Fi for family time. All on a network dedicated to keeping your personal information safe, secure, and private. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. Visit Xfinity.com to learn more.
In-car video systems, body-worn cameras, cloud-based video software. Only Digital Ally provides complete video solutions for law enforcement, commercial fleet, and event security nationwide. Increase driver safety, track assets in real time, minimize your liability risk. Provide your organization with a complete video solution from Digital Ally, a preferred technology partner of NASCAR. Visit race.digitalallyinc.com to learn more.
This is Al NASCAR Radio Live, or pull up your favorite shows anytime on demand with the SiriusXM app.
No change in the running order, and that is from first all the way back to position number 37, because everybody's still single file racing along right there at this stage in the race with 49 laps to go. So let's follow up on pit road and find out what the thinking is down there and the strategy from here on out. This report from pit road is presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll start with Steve Post.
Right now, it's just hanging on and trying to get to the fuel window. The fuel window opens in about 10 laps from now, but I would suspect they're probably going to go to about lap 155. That is the split. At that point, you will see all the manufacturers and hear all of the communication with all the manufacturers come down pit road, and they will do like they did in the middle of stage 2. They will pit with their group. So I think we're looking at about 15 to 18 laps as far as the pit stops go. Again, depending on manufacturer strategy we have here between Chevy, Toyota, and Ford. Dylan Welch, what are you hearing, and maybe some specifics there in your part of the area?
Yeah, no, I'm hearing the same, Steve, and I've heard the number about 35 laps to go will be the earliest that they would come down, which is 13 laps from now. So I think that's the very edge of where they would feel comfortable of coming down to make it to the end, and then potentially some overtime if we get it. So it's kind of interesting. You listen to the radios here at Talladega normally, and it's normally very heavily populated with radio chatter from the spotters, the drivers communicating. It's all silent on the radios right now because the message to these drivers has been delivered, and it's pretty simple: save fuel. So that's why everybody's riding around in a line right now, trying to push and shove each other. Not the time for that right now. It's just all about saving fuel and getting yourself in the window, Kim Kuhn.
Well, Dylan Welch, echoing your sentiments, lots of chatter about saving fuel on the radios. I do want to note that a handful of cars did come down with 1 to go before we went green on this last run. So about lap 125, at least in my section I had Corey LaJoie, Ryan Preece, and Chase Briscoe top off, which gives them a little bit more wiggle room. In fact, Corey LaJoie's spotter and crew chief both came on and told him most of the cars can make it to lap 155-ish, maybe 150. We, with our top off, can go 20 laps about further with that extra fuel. So that will buy them a little bit more time if they so choose to use that.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
I guess right now you just have to figure that they're going to log laps until they get this last scheduled pit stop in. Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, who has been in the top 10 all day long, or at least he has certainly been around it. Michael McDowell third, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher. Where's your favorite driver running? Close it out. Austin Dillon, Ryan Preece, Chase Briscoe, and Eric Jones, top 10. You know, I was thinking while you were covering that pit sweep, we had a first-time stage winner in Matt DiBenedetto. We had a first-time stage winner in Bubba Wallace. Could we see a first-time winner when we drop the black and white checkered flag at the end of this whole thing?
We could very well. There's obviously quite a few of them running at the front of the field well. Like a Matt DiBenedetto, maybe a Ryan Preece, a Chase Briscoe. He's run quite well. Ross Chastain has been in and around the front of the field all day long. Bubba Wallace has been up there. He, too, has had a strong car today.
All right, so I think the question that the listener might want to know is, if you're running back there, let's say my favorite driver is Chase Elliott. Well, Chase Elliott is back in 25th, and yet we keep talking about him willing to ride around the racetrack, looking like a 200-mile-an-hour roller coaster at your favorite theme park. Unless he and others decide to get out of line and move to the front, right now you're saying I'm going to take 25th or 26th as it actually is. How soon do you have to bust out of line and start making your way towards the front if you're planning on winning?
Well, there's 45, make it 44 laps to go this time by, with another pit stop still to go. So I think after that pit stop, and you wait and see how things shake out, whether you pit under caution or pit under the green flag, that's to be determined. But I think that's when you have to really start making your decision on when you can go and how good your race car is right now. As we look across the start-finish line, some of the drivers are now beginning to move to the bottom of the racetrack. So it may be getting closer to that point.
Well, why don't we follow up on a story that we brought you earlier, and it happens to be about the driver that is leading, Eric Almirola. It has not been a day without issues. And Steve Post, I know that you can explain.
They have had this car on pit road for a number of times. They had a vibration that would not go away. They first checked to make sure it wasn't tires. Eric thought it might have been a suspension part. They checked the drive line. They checked everything. What they found is these cars are so sensitive. There was a minor ding or hole in the splitter, and it was an aero vibration. They were able to tape up around it, and the car has been flawless ever since. Right now, he's leading the field around here. So, but it was a real mystery. They pitted probably 4 or 5 times trying to document where that vibration was coming from.
It's been a mystery all season long, not just today for Eric Almirola. It's been a mystery for Stewart-Haas Racing. They have been having some struggles since the opening race in the Daytona 500. They led a total of 18 laps coming into today's race. That's all 4 cars combined, Jeff. Now here today, Kevin Harvick took some turns at the front of the field earlier on, and now Eric Almirola is leading a lot of laps. As a matter of fact, Almirola is about to lead his 15th lap in a row, and as an organization, they only led a total of 18 all year before today.
Well, there's another organization beginning to run him down, and that is Chip Ganassi, his team, and Kurt Busch and Ross Chastain. They line up on the inside of the racetrack. Riding is over, racing back underway. Dave, let's follow Ross Chastain back to the turn.
Just when you thought they were going to stay comfortable in that single file line, they busted loose now. Chastain to the bottom, Busch to the bottom, Kyle Busch to the bottom, up to about the 6th spot on the low lane.
Now they will inch forward into a battle for 5th. One driver that was a part of that drafting effort down low was Kevin Harvick. He got shuffled to the middle, and now the bottom lane begins to dissolve and go away, led by Chastain.
Chastain at the bottom lane of the racetrack trying to find his way forward. He's moved up to about the 5th position here, now challenging for 4th, racing off the corner.
Chip Ganassi Racing has that inside lane occupied. Ross Chastain is racing for position. He is in the 6th spot. Now his teammate right behind him, Kurt Busch, had a mechanical issue early on that Kim Kuhn had talked about on that long pit stop. Kurt Busch is 6 laps down, but that's not preventing him from helping his teammate.
Here they come through turn number 2. Kurt Busch pushing pretty hard right now on the Ross Chastain machine. In a lap, they've gained 3 spots in the low groove.
Now it starts to get more organized downstairs. Chastain, the lap car of Kurt Busch, Kurt's brother Kyle. Then he got Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick downstairs.
Tyler Reddick working his way up through the bottom side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4 at the front of the field. Here comes the challenge for the lead. Ross Chastain has taken over the top spot.
Chip Ganassi Racing trying to lead here at Talladega. Ross Chastain behind the wheel, and he's got his teammate right behind. Across the line goes Chastain. Lead change number 27. Chastain out front. His teammate, Kurt Busch, riding with him.
Melon Man to the top of the heap at Talladega as he hugs the double yellow line on the bottom of the speedway. Kurt Busch rides right behind him. Second place machine will be Kyle Busch. And right behind him comes the Christopher Bell car.
Chastain has a little insurance policy on the back bumper. His teammate, that is a lap down, shielding Chastain from the rest of the field as the front 4 break away.
Ross Chastain, blue, white, and green Chevrolet at the front of the field in turn number 4. The pride of Alva, Florida, showing the way at Talladega.
There'll be 39 laps to go in the Geico 500 this time by. Everybody is trying to catch Ross Chastain.
If we go to page 11 in the presentation, you'll see that we're on target to meet our quarterly.
Some things never change, like nobody can resist popping plastic bubbles. And Geico saving folks lots of money on their car insurance.
As I was saying, we're on target to meet, excuse me, Miss Hansen.
Sorry, almost done.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts at participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Ross Chastain, still the race leader, hugs the bottom of the racetrack. His teammates 6 laps down. Kurt Busch is right in the mix, and then they're stacked up from second on back with 37 laps to go. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I am extremely concerned about the U.S. dollar. Will it stay as the world reserve currency? I'm not sure. That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company I recommend, and have for years, is American Hartford Gold. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. And they make it easy, so please call them right now and make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself is up 40%, silver more than 60%. So don't wait, call them now. 888-GOLD-505. That's 888-GOLD-505 or text USA to 65532. Again, 888-GOLD-505 or text USA to 65532.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
This is Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin down to the stripe on your 24/7 home for NASCAR. SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
We welcome you back to Talladega Superspeedway. A moment ago, they were single file. Dave Mooney, that is not the case now.
It's all over now. Kevin Harvick has gotten a big shove from some of his Ford teammates, notably Almirola and Blaney. He's up to second and looking for more.
Ross Chastain has his hands full right now. Ross, the race leader, on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got Kyle Busch right behind him. But that outside charge, it is loaded with a lot of momentum, and it's led by Kevin Harvick.
Here comes Harvick to the high side, back in corner number 3 with Almirola, Blaney, McDowell, Keselowski. A lot of Ford power working toward the outside lane as they work their way off turn 4.
thundering pack of 32 cars, all trying to win at Talladega. The Geico 500 at Talladega, man, it is on, and there are 35 laps left to go. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Hard racing since we dropped the green flag some 153 laps ago, 35 laps to go here at Talladega. The Geico 500 at Talladega. Motor Racing Network with live flag-to-flag coverage. Jeff Striegel alongside Alex Hayden. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, Kurt Becker. They are in the turns today, and up and down pit road, Steve Post, Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn. And Alex Hayden, man, it is on here as we begin to wind it down.
It absolutely is. Ross Chastain on the inside lane. Kevin Harvick is on the outside lane. 34 laps to go.
Here they come into turn number 2, and it is side by side for the money spot. Ross Chastain digging hard on the bottom of the racetrack. Kevin Harvick top side. They are wheel to wheel.
Last time off the end of the back straightaway, Kyle Busch had Ross Chastain all kinds of jacked up. Chastain sideways in the corner, hoping things settle down this time through. But Ross' life just got a whole lot harder. Kevin Harvick to his right elbow in 3.
Harvick with continued and sustained help from Eric Almirola, his teammate, racing back through the corner. Chastain has drivers lined up behind him, beginning with Kyle Busch.
And here come the Chevrolets to pit road, and we got one that is spun further back. Meanwhile, cars begin to try to get onto pit road. A glancing blow, perhaps, for the car that spun. Chastain is now coming onto pit road. Understand it was Ricky Stenhouse that spun. And then as the race leader, Ross Chastain is in.
He'll change right side tires for now. Chevys and Toyotas in. Bubba Wallace is in. 2 tires for him. 2 tires for Austin Dillon. 2 tires for Chastain and Tyler Reddick and others. Steve Post.
Right side tires for Christopher Bell, Sunoco Racing Fuel. The same call for his teammate Kyle Busch. Sunoco Fuel. And Taz Grella brings his car in now. Same call there as well. Kim Kuhn.
We had William Byron in for 2 tires. Also, Ryan Preece fuel only. Chase Elliott and Kurt Busch both taking tires as well as fuel.
Having to be careful not to get speeding penalties down there as the lead draft, which are Ford Mustangs now, work through the tri-oval, trying to run down this group of cars that's trying desperately to get through the gearbox and get back up to speed. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the one who spun coming to pit road. He bounced it off the inside safer barrier. He's got an extended stop going on, Jeff, right now.
I believe it was Quinn Houff. And Kurt Becker, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it looked like Quinn just shot down the racetrack as Stenhouse was coming in and under braking and just drilled him in the side, and that's what turned Stenhouse into the wall.
And as you come off turn number 4, there is a wide paved runoff area to driver's left. And Stenhouse at least was able to use every inch of that to his advantage to scrub off some speed so that by the time his car did make contact with the inside safer barrier nose first, it was more of a glancing blow. A lot of the energy already had dissipated.
Only one driver has a penalty because of the green flag stop. Speeding on pit road for Ryan Newman. Newman will have to make a pass-through penalty. And as they cycle through that opening wave of Chevrolets and Toyotas, Jeff, when you look out there, they have been broken up into multiple groups. They came in as a group of about 18 or so cars. They did not leave that way.
No, they did not. And it's going to hurt a lot of them that have lost the draft, the manufacturer draft, that is. That's what Alex Hayden is talking about. You come in as a group of Chevrolets, you leave as a group of Chevrolets, and you work together. Problem is, they're not together, and that's going to cost them. So Chevrolets making their stop on lap 155. How soon will we see the Toyotas and the Fords?
That's a good question. A lot of the Toyotas did already come to pit road and were part of that. Bubba Wallace was in on that exchange. Martin Truex Jr. as well. They were not the best pit stops in the world. Bubba's one of those that got out of line and missed the draft. He and Austin Dillon have hooked up all by themselves on the back straightaway. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, there are 10 Fords, and they're all running at the front of the field in a single file line. As we look out the window over into turn 3, they're all at the bottom of the racetrack. Perhaps this is the time that the Fords will make their way to pit road as they thread their way through some of the lap traffic up off of the corner. They will indeed. Now, slow down, jam the brakes, start to gear down. Everybody gives each other plenty of racing room to get the cars down to 55 miles per hour. And here they are, Matt DiBenedetto, the first in.
And his crew will go to the right side. They will take tires on this stop. It looks like it will be a tear-off, fuel, and 2 tires for Matt DiBenedetto. Brad Keselowski also in that money line for 2 tires for him. Sunoco fuel, Chase Briscoe down and away. Steve Post.
Kevin Harvick going to be 2 tires for Sunoco Racing Fuel. He is down and away. Michael McDowell, 2 tires in fuel. The same for Eric Almirola. And Ryan Blaney looks like he is going for 4 tires and Sunoco Racing Fuel. Dylan Welch.
It was 2 tires, right sides only, and fuel for Cole Custer, who reported he was a little bit loose on landing. Right sides and fuel as well for Chris Buescher and Anthony Alfredo. The Fords with their maybe final stop of the day completed.
Boy, don't make a mistake now. Ryan Newman has just made another one. Remember how Denny was busted twice back-to-back? Ryan Newman has just been busted back-to-back. He got busted when he came onto pit road. They made him do a pass-through penalty again too fast. So that's a brutal blow for Ryan Newman. We're getting down to it. 28 laps to go at Talladega.
Well, it's come down to the final lap of the Brad's Lunch 500, and right now pizza is coming in on toppings.
Just a lap to go. Salad has a healthy lead, and oh no, stuffed jalapenos has created a hot mess with that pileup. Good thing paper towels are in the mix.
But wait, someone has emerged from the flames. It's steak burrito and grilled chickens. They're nub and neck.
And there's the checkered flag. Steak burrito wins it by a bean. Good choice, Brad.
When you have the need for feed, find it on the DoorDash app. DoorDash, official partner of NASCAR.
Hi, this is Mike Bagley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
You know, we were so competitive week in and week out. And you look back and you probably could have won 12 or 15 if you'd done a few things here and there.
We'll take you behind the scenes of NASCAR competition.
Awesome job. Great work, guys. Take care, man. I'm on first, not second.
As well as break down the upcoming race weekend and more.
I mean, I think the guys who run dirt are going to have a big advantage.
It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
Packs of cars now split up, but all the way around the racetrack. The lead pack is a pack of 5. Christopher Bell is now at the front of the field. This is after all of the pit stops. Ross Chastain goes second. Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Jones. So if you missed that, let's do it again. Christopher Bell, Chastain, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Jones. That's your top 5 from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
One thing you should be able to rely on under any circumstance is your child receiving a quality education. But in these uncertain times, many schools are left scrambling to address at-home learning, leaving parents like you looking for answers. You don't have to face online education alone. Laurel Springs can help. Laurel Springs School is an innovator and pioneer in online education that provides a flexible learning experience for students. From kindergarten through 12th grade and beyond, Laurel Springs establishes foundational pathways for academic, career, and personal success. Laurel Springs helps students succeed with a mastery-based approach, allowing your child to relearn and retry concepts before moving on. Their self-paced, asynchronous curriculum provides a personal experience with schedule flexibility. See what Laurel Springs has to offer today by visiting laurelsprings.com/SXM. If you decide Laurel Springs is right for your family, you'll receive a waived registration fee. That's laurelsprings.com/SXM.
We're ready to go. 24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR is found right here. This is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
There are 3 big packs of cars right now at the front end of the field. We just mentioned 5 of them, or 5 cars in that lead pack: Chastain, Kyle Busch, Reddick, Jones, and Christopher Bell. But there is a fast closing pack number 2, Alex Hayden.
And they are Ford Mustangs led by Kevin Harvick with Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, and Matt DiBenedetto. And not too terribly far behind them, Jeff Striegel, is that third pack you were referencing.
And that's Austin Dillon and Bubba Wallace, Truex, William Byron, Ryan Preece, Cole Custer, Chris Buescher. So it's going to turn into a big pack of 1, but Dave Moody, not at the moment, but yet Kevin Harvick right now wheeling the Ford, and he's got company lined up behind him.
Yeah, and they're all going to stay right behind him too, Jeff, because if they stay single file, they have all but caught that lead pack. The lead pack, of course, is doing the exact same thing, so those two groups now have become just one.
They come to the back straightaway with Ross Chastain at the controls. Now that third pack, or now the second pack that's led by Martin Truex Jr., they've still got some work to do, and they've got the lap car of Joey Gase. Make that the Austin Dillon car with Truex in that draft, catching Gase.
Everyone trying to work their way around the Gase car. In fact, it's going to start with Austin Dillon, then Bubba Wallace going to the high side of the racetrack off turn 4.
What was a pack of 5 has turned into a pack of 11 now at the front of the field. All single file. Now, just a handful of laps ago, Christopher Bell was the race leader. Then Steve Post in turn 3, he just simply made a right turn and let the other 4 in that draft go by. Why?
I am not sure if they did not get it full or if the fuel mileage is that close with a full tank. But Christopher Bell's team felt they could not make it on the fuel after leading the field. It burns more fuel at the front of the field, so they had to drop back. That was the call Adam Stevens made, the crew chief, and they just did not feel they had enough. They could make it to the end of the race on the fuel leading because they burned so much more up there.
Alex Hayden just mentioned a moment ago, a pack of 11 is soon to be joined by a pack of 7 being led by Austin Dillon, Alex Hayden.
Austin Dillon having a fantastic drive, and he's going to go to the outside of Matt DiBenedetto. He is not interested in riding single file whatsoever. He is a Daytona 500 champion. He knows how to get the job done on super speedways, and he's trying to make it happen in one.
Well, the second group caught the first group. They behaved themselves and stayed single file. The third group has now reeled them in, and there is no behavior at all. Austin Dillon gets shuffled to the outside. Here comes Matt DiBenedetto.
DiBenedetto will change lanes. He'll start a run to the outside, but he won't have much success in drawing close to Brad Keselowski, who is the last car on that draft, and now they'll shuffle up even more.
Brad Keselowski in the 9th position, then DiBenedetto is in 10th. Side by side behind him, you've got Chase Briscoe down to the inside and Bubba Wallace up high.
And pedaling for all he is worth at the front of the field, a driver out of Florida, Ross Chastain, who drives for Chip Ganassi Racing. He looks in that rear view mirror, Dave, and not only does he see Kyle Busch, but he sees about 15 others.
Yeah, there's no shortage of action back there, including now a side-by-side battle for the number 4 position. Eric Jones flies to the outside lane. He's going to put the challenge on Tyler Reddick.
Now here comes Kyle Busch. He'll jump up in front of Chastain, or make that Eric Jones, and so will Chastain. Jones will change lanes from 3rd. He'll pull to the inside. Kyle Busch will block that advance as well.
And now Jones takes a peek up to the high side. Has to scramble back down lower. In middle lanes of the banking for Eric Jones now. He rides in 3rd, working off turn 4.
Tyler Reddick is now the engine pulling the inside lane choo-choo train, trying to make some hay downstairs. They're even now with position number, make that position number 5 alongside of Brad Keselowski. So Tyler Reddick is the one trying to pull the inside lane.
Here they come into turn number 1. That inside line, no better than side-by-side for 6 right now. Reddick down low and Matt DiBenedetto still chasing Ross Chastain.
Reddick leads the inside off 2. The leaders will shift wide. Here's Eric Jones rumble out of the pocket, dive to the inside. Kyle Busch throws the block. Kyle Busch tries to retaliate, go up top. Jones back to the top, side-by-side for 2nd.
Here's Eric Jones now, and he's working on race leader Ross Chastain. Chastain throws the block low. He throws it high. Jones almost gets into the back of him, chasing the race leader off 4.
19 laps to go, 18 cars in this pack. It doesn't include Chase Elliott. It doesn't include Ryan Newman. It doesn't include a number of those big drivers that had been at the front of the field like Ryan Blaney. But right now, Ross Chastain just trying to hold on.
They keep throwing blocks like they have the last couple of laps. It's not going to include a whole bunch more, as it was crazy last time off turn number 2. They are still chasing Chastain, and this time they're going to be a little more well-behaved.
Eric Jones now in 2nd. Keselowski in 3rd. You got Truex in 4th, but here comes the inside. Jones throws the block, goes for the lead. Chastain tried to block and could not.
Matt DiBenedetto lines up behind Eric Jones. Jones to the point at Talladega. Working through turn number 4, Eric Jones, the leader. Matt DiBenedetto getting chased.
Eric Jones flying the Tuskegee Airmen colors with the United States Air Force, for the king, Richard Petty, leading at Talladega. Eric Jones, it is Petty up front, and it's the Wood brothers riding second back to turn one.
Two of the most storied teams in the history of the sport, running 1 and 2, and to the inside for third, one of the newest teams in the sport. Bubba Wallace for 23-11 on the inside.
Bubba Wallace leads the inside, and he's got drafting help. The question is, can he get up and race for the lead? Not this lap. It's all Eric Jones, Matt DiBenedetto, Ross Chastain, and Keselowski. But here comes Bubba trying to make a run for fourth.
Kyle Busch is lined up behind him. Here's Keselowski dropping out of line. Here's DiBenedetto dropping out of line. And now Eric Jones has to throw the block at the bottom side of turn 4.
Boy, inches apart. Eric Jones came from the top of the track all the way to the bottom, right across the nose of Matt DiBenedetto. And now here comes Ross Chastain back to the outside. Chastain and Eric Jones at the front of the field.
The gloves are off, and it's bare knuckles at Talladega now. Eric Jones for Richard Petty Motorsports has the lead. Oh, into the wall. Hard hit for Quinn Houff. He blew a right front tire right in front of the leaders. Everybody's going to escape to the bottom. A close call as the lap machine of Quinn Houff explodes a right front tire and pounds the wall right in front of the lead draft.
Time to take a deep breath. 16 laps to go. Caution on the speedway for the 6th time for the Quinn Houff crash in turn number 2.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower. Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
It's your all-access pass to the stars of NASCAR each weekday with NASCAR Hot Pass.
We kind of had a hole that we had to dig ourselves out of, and we've been working on that each week.
We'll hear from the sport's top drivers as they talk life on and off the racetrack.
I really enjoy seeing the behind-the-scenes, movie or TV set. So it's actually really fascinating.
Quite honestly, I think I'm getting better with age.
NASCAR Hot Pass, weekday mornings from the Motor Racing Network.
172 laps are complete. The scheduled distance is 188 laps here in the Geico 500. That doesn't mean that will be the end of the race. 16 times Talladega races have gone into overtime, including both races here last year. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
I may never have met you. We don't go way back. Maybe we wouldn't even be friends if we did. But when you wear a mask, you have my respect. Because your mask doesn't protect you. It protects me. I wear my mask to protect you. Mask up, America.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Today on Hey Culligan, the best things in life are free. Water tests. Let's go to Candace.
Hey Culligan, how do I learn more about my water?
Candace, let me just test the waters here.
Okay.
Literally test your water.
Oh.
For free.
Free?
Free, Candace. In-home water tests for free. So you know more about your water and how to make it better with Culligan water. And Candace.
Yeah?
We're already on the way.
Oh, good.
Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Hey, race fans, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're listening to Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, and that's the bottom line, because I said so.
The lap count goes to 173. A handful of lead lap cars peel off the racetrack steep post and come to pit road.
And Christopher Bell worried a little bit about fuel mileage. That was the decision to come down. That way, if there's green, white checkers or anything, they're good to go. He said, while I'm here, put 4 Goodyear Eagles on it. So 4 tires for Crystal and Kevin Harvick. William Byron way down in the way. Now the rest of the field here that's pitting now are rolling off from pit road. Dylan Welch.
Harrison Burton is in, and they're having a problem on the left rear of his car, and it's boxed Daniel Suarez as you hear him rev up into his box. He finally gets away. Chris Buescher and Austin Dillon were in for 4 tires and fuel, as was Anthony Alfredo and Cole Custer. Kim Kuhn.
we had Chase Briscoe in, and he's still in for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. He was reporting that some of the bare bond they had put on that left front from earlier damage was kind of peeling off. So they're taking the time right now to make sure he's all sutured up and ready to go for these last few laps. Chase Elliott's still on pit road. He had damage earlier as well. They'll continue to work on that, specifically on the left rear of that race car. We also had Brad Keselowski in for 4, as well as William Byron taking just right side tires. Corey LaJoy in for 4 tires.
So everybody who came to pit road wraps up their service with the exception of Briscoe and Elliott. They're going to take these extended moments to come down the pit lane and get their cars a little more bandaged the best they possibly can. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy.
14 laps to go. We are working right now under the caution flag. 27 cars on the lead lap, the last of which is leaving pit road right now, and that is Chase Elliott and Eric Almirola. So that is 26 and 27. Let's remind you right now, those drivers running on the lead lap. Eric Jones is the race leader. Matt DiBenedetto second. Ross Chastain third. Martin Truex fourth. Bubba Wallace fifth. Kyle Busch sixth. Tyler Reddick seventh. Eighth is Ryan Blaney. Kaz Grala up to ninth, and J.J. Yaley is 10th.
11th is William Byron. 12th is Brad Keselowski. 13th, Christopher Bell. 14th, Kevin Harvick. 15th, Michael McDowell. 16th, Austin Dillon. 17th is Cole Custer. 18th, Chris Buescher. 19th, Corey LaJoy. And 20th is Ryan Preece.
So it's going to shuffle up just a little bit now as those cars of Eric Almirola and Chase Elliott join the field. So a quick look from 20th on back include Anthony Alfredo. These are lead lap cars. Daniel Suarez, Harrison Burton, J.J. Yaley, B.J. McLeod, Chase Briscoe, Elliott, and Eric Almirola. So those are the 27 players as it stands now. And if we thought it was big prior to that last caution, I have a feeling we haven't seen anything yet.
No, it's almost time to start chewing the nails down to the quick. And that is one thing that we
They are doing it, and as a matter of fact, this is a sponsor deal. Long Lewis is sponsoring this team, so they said if we're going to sponsor the team, we want it to look like Red's car. That relationship with Long Lewis Auto Group goes back with Red Farmer. Listen to this. To 1962. Red Farmer, one of the original members of the Alabama gang, a two-time winner here at the in the ARCA Series, a 2022 this year inductee into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And yes, you mentioned he's still a racer. 88 race shop destroyed a bunch of his equipment. He got it all replaced. And on Friday night across the street, and then again last night at the Talladega Short Track, Red Farmer was out there in his Long Lewis Auto Group car, slinging the dirt at the Talladega Short Track. Hall of Famer, an 88-year-old race car driver, Red Farmer, being honored by B.J. McLeod here with his race car here this afternoon at Talladega Superspeedway.
What a classy move and what a great story. Thank you, Steve Post. Red Farmer, of course, man, I don't care who you are. If you're here, if you're listening to us, you know who Red Farmer is because you grew up with him. And yet today, he is still racing. Alex, what do you think? We talked about first-time winners. It's liable to happen. And I would almost question this to the fans that are listening. Do you want your favorite driver to win, or do you want a first-time driver to win? Because there's some that are up there, whether you're a fan of Matt DiBenedetto's or not, everybody pulls for him. Bubba Wallace is in contention to win. Tyler Reddick is in contention to win. How about a Kaz Grala running back in 9th? So there are some drivers running in position to go to victory lane, and if they can do it, it would be for the first time.
Well, if Kaz Grala was able to get to victory lane, that means Kaulig Racing would sweep the weekend.
Yeah.
They won yesterday's Ag Pro 300 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series for a first-time winner in Jeb Burton. So there are such great stories. Even though Eric Jones has won before, how many people would love to see Richard Petty back in victory lane in the top level of NASCAR racing? Ross Chastain for Chip Ganassi. Martin Truex Jr. has been, he's been good on super speedways, but he's been in the big goose egg category when it comes to winning on these tracks. So that would be a nice story to see. Kyle Busch to break through and get the victory lane with his new crew chief, Ben Bayshore. You're right. There's a lot of great stories up and down this leaderboard right now that a lot of different fans, for many reasons, would love to see go to victory lane.
How about this stat before we go into the green flag? Truex is 0 for 64 on super speedways here in Daytona. 0 for 64. He's won just about everywhere else. Time to settle it. Will we get all the way through to the checkered flag without a caution? We'll find out. Here they come. Geico restart. You've got Eric Jones on the inside to his outside. The Wood brothers being represented by Matt DiBenedetto. Behind them, Chastain and Truex, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, and everybody else as they come up to speed.
Here they come into turn number 1. Nobody able to get to the advantage. Now, Eric Jones by about a half a car length, making a full car length now as he's got some big-time drafting help on his rear bumper. Chastain will go to second. Wallace now for third.
Here they come now out of turn number 2. It's Eric Jones and Ross Chastain running in positions 1 and 2. But here comes that middle line running. It's Matt DiBenedetto that'll lead the outside charge. He is up to second.
Matt DiBenedetto comes racing up to the outside of leader Eric Jones and still trying to clear Ross Chastain, who's there to the inside running in the second position. The battle is on off turn 4.
Matt DiBenedetto trying to take the Wood brothers to victory lane for the 100th time in their historic career. He'll go around the outside of Eric Jones. New race leader is Matt DiBenedetto headed to 1.
He goes to the lead, but he's a long way from home quite yet. Right behind him, plenty of company. Martin Truex Jr. now up to second. Here comes Kyle Busch to the outside of Eric Jones. That's the battle for the 3 spot.
And behind Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney on the comeback trail. He's right in the middle of this. He's running in 4th on the outside. William Byron behind him. Byron now feels the heat from Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski moving by to take over the 5th position. Leaves the lane open. Kevin Harvick's going to jump in line behind him. Harvick up to 6th. Byron slides back to 7th.
10 laps to go, and yes, you can lock bumpers. You can melt your engine down doing it, but you can also take you and somebody else to the front of the field. Across the line they go. Leaders on the inside of the track. That's Matt DiBenedetto, Truex, and Kyle Busch.
Into turn number 1. They'll go to the bottom of the racetrack. The lead 4 will go to the bottom. The side-by-side battle for 5th. That's Keselowski to the low line. Top side is Kevin Harvick. 3 wide. Here comes Michael McDowell.
Michael McDowell with a run. He's got some drafting help. Now McDowell will abandon those plans in the outside line. He'll get in the middle lane. Up front, side by side for 3rd. Ryan Blaney to the outside of Kyle Busch.
With Ross Chastain right behind them. He was in the middle. Now he goes low. He hooks up. behind Kyle Busch. Chastain rides in the 4th position off turn 4.
Keep in mind, Roger Penske had a meeting with his drivers earlier this week to try to avoid what happened on the last lap of the Daytona 500, going for the win and wrecking each other out. Those Team Penske cars now go 2nd and 3rd. The leader is a Penske-affiliated car.
De Benedetto, Blaney, Keselowski, 1, 2, 3 in the outside lane. Another Ford with Kevin Harvick. Another Ford with McDowell, but down low, here comes Martin Truex Jr.
And here come the Toyotas, Truex and Kyle Busch, 1 and 2 on the inside line. They're going to need a little more drafting help as the advantage is up top. 3 wide for about 10th. All this behind De Benedetto.
Bottom side of the racetrack. Here's Martin Truex Jr. Help from teammate Kyle Busch. Truex is running in 6th. And with that assistance from Busch, trying to work his way to the top 5.
And Eric Jones, by the way, has been kicked out of the lead. In fact, he's going to struggle now to stay inside the top 10 as he works 3 wide. Kyle Busch to the inside, Harrison Burton to the outside. Top 5 at the moment. Go nose to tail.
Back to Benedetto, showing the way. He'll take it all the way to the penthouse, up next to the outside retaining wall with Blaney, Keselowski, Harvick, and McDowell all in the rear view.
With every passing lap, the blocks are getting more aggressive. And soon a block is going to bite somebody. The question is, who will it be? Can they keep their P's and Q's in line? De Benedetto leads them back to the corner.
So far, everyone staying in line in that top 6. The first car to the bottom side is William Byron. He rides in 7th. Bubba Wallace doing everything he can to try to help him.
Winning 9 of the last 11 Talladega Cup races was Ford Motor Company. They occupy the front 6 positions. The Chevrolet of William Byron.
Herd of Mustangs at the front of the pack. Byron, for the moment, no better than side by side with the number 6 position. He's to the inside of the Chris Buescher machine. He'll pick up drafting help from Bubba Wallace.
Kaz Gralla, but there's only 3 of them downstairs now, as all of the energy and momentum has shifted to the outside lane. They're behaving themselves outside, led by De Benedetto, with Blaney, Keselowski, Harvick, and McDowell the top 5.
And Chris Buescher in the 6th position around the top side of the racetrack as they race back off turn 4. That bottom line still not advancing. William Byron, Bubba Wallace down low.
And Truex is not in this lead pack. He has pulled his car out of the pack. He said he's got a serious vibration and he's not going to
trouble in turn number 4, and it's Martin Truex Jr. He has slid down to the bottom side of turn 4. The car scooted out from under him, almost got away from him, managed to keep it off the racing surface as everyone else moved by to the outside.
We stay under the green flag. Dylan Welch, what's the problem with Martin Truex Jr.?
They're not sure. They think it is maybe indeed the track bar mount or a tire going down or something, but Truex came on the radio and said it seems like it's the track bar mount. So looking at the replay here, they did indeed have a problem. He did a good job to save it, but here he comes to the pits now.
25 drivers ought to be thankful it was Martin Truex Jr. that recognized he had a problem, pulled out of that lead pack and went to the tail, and then had that issue all by himself, affecting nobody. We are down to 5 to go at Talladega. Matt De Benedetto looking for career win number 1.
Blue Oval Unity has gotten them to the front of the pack, but it's not going to be long before your friend becomes your enemy. De Benedetto and Blaney go 1 and 2. Back to the inside line. Here comes William Byron.
They're inching forward. They need more numbers, though. They were up to about position number 4, and that's where they will stall out as the outside line continues to be organized back to the corner.
Here's Brad Keselowski in 3rd. Part of that outside line, thought about dropping down out of line, thought better of it. Ryan Blaney now 2nd position, just inches from the back bumper of Matt De Benedetto.
Just a little over 12 miles remain at 196 miles an hour. Here they come back through the tri-oval one more time. Matt De Benedetto upstairs, William Byron downstairs, trying to rally back on the bottom.
De Benedetto has got what they all want, and we'll see who pulls the trigger first. The Fords are all lined up next to the safer barrier. Down low, Byron leads the charge with Eric Jones and Kyle Busch.
Matt De Benedetto running for his life right now. He looks in the rearview mirror. He's got Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell lined up. The inside charge, it's coming with William Byron now as they try to inch forward.
He's got Eric Jones behind him as they work through turn number 4.
Martin Truex Jr. went to pit road, as Dylan Welch talked about. He came back out, had a tire rub, and the right rear tire carcass came apart and has come to a rest just shy of the start-finish line, right up against the safer barrier, and that has put the caution flag out on the speedway for the 7th time with 3 laps to go.
Well, now, won't that be interesting? With 3 to go, more than likely now. And like Alex Hayden pointed out, overtime, a common theme here at Talladega, and we'll be headed there for sure. Overtime at Talladega. Matt DiBenedetto probably not wanting to hear that. Obviously, he had to feel comfortable. Don't you think, Alex Hayden? He's got Ryan Blaney behind him, an Alliance car, 2 Team Penske, Brad Keselowski right there, Harvick, McDowell, all in Fords, and Matt at the front of the field.
He's one of NASCAR's all-time greats, the kid who took on the good old boys and changed NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon races back to the checkered flag.
If you can drive a car out of control like that, I thought this kid's going to be a star.
MRN presents a 10-part podcast series that traces Jeff Gordon's rise to NASCAR legend.
Would he win again? The answer is yes. He'll win at Martinsville.
Jeff Gordon, the colorful career of the Rainbow Warrior. Available now at MRN.com and your favorite podcast source.
Grassroots Racing. It's where I got my start and what we talk about on NASCAR Coast to Coast. I'm Hannah Newhouse. Join me and Kyle Rickey each week as we talk with drivers from NASCAR's National, International Touring Series, and your local NASCAR track. Kyle talks with the Wheel and Modified Driver of the Week, and we give you all of the latest news and race results. You can watch on MRN.com, Facebook, or YouTube. You can also subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. NASCAR Coast to Coast, grassroots racing coverage you won't find anywhere else.
Pit road is open because it has to be. Now the question would be, Alex, would anybody dare come to pit road right now?
No.
No. Easy.
I wouldn't for no reason unless you feel like something's significantly wrong with the handling of your car or you got a bad vibration, but no.
All right, there are a couple of cars further back that will come to pit road. We'll recap those for you when we come back. Matt stays on the racetrack. Matt DiBenedetto trying to take his car and the Wood brothers to victory lane at Talladega. And from Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
One thing you should be able to rely on under any circumstance is your child receiving a quality education. But in these uncertain times, many schools are left scrambling to address at-home learning, leaving parents like you looking for answers. You don't have to face online education alone. Laurel Springs can help. Laurel Springs School is an innovator and pioneer in online education that provides a flexible learning experience for students. From kindergarten through 12th grade and beyond, Laurel Springs establishes foundational pathways for academic, career, and personal success. Laurel Springs helps students succeed with a mastery-based approach, allowing your child to relearn and retry concepts before moving on. Their self-paced, asynchronous curriculum provides a personal experience with schedule flexibility. See what Laurel Springs has to offer today by visiting laurelsprings.com/SXM. If you decide Laurel Springs is right for your family, you'll receive a waived registration fee. That's laurelsprings.com/SXM.
Wallace, and you're experiencing all the thrills of the NASCAR Cup Series live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Now, back to the race.
Welcome back to Talladega, headed to overtime. And you know, you were talking earlier, Alex, I guess we all were, about the fact that we've got fans in the stands, a lot of fans in the stands here at Talladega. And why do they come here? Why do they come from all over the country and beeline down here and put up their camper, stay in the hotels in the nearby towns? Because this is the kind of action that NASCAR delivers. And man, it's certainly delivering here today.
34 official lead changes today. And again, that is only at the start finish line. That doesn't count how many times people edge out in front of each other and swap the lead out there in turn 1, 2, maybe the backstretch or 3 and 4. Just 34 official lead changes at the line. They race hard from start to finish. You have action on the pit lane. You have problems. You've had a couple of cars get into the fence. You've had, unfortunately, Joey Logano flip over there in turn number 3. He's okay, however. You have a little bit of everything. And now all of a sudden, we're going to get right back down to it, and we're going to line them up and do it all over again.
Well, as you know, we have the smartest 3 guys in all of NASCAR covering the action out in the corners, and they can actually tell you what's about to happen. Dave Moody, we're going to start over with you. We're headed to overtime. How's it going to end up?
I'm gonna guess that we might be headed to overtime again because the chances of them going all the way around here twice without somebody getting into trouble with somebody else are astronomically long. I got to tell you, though, based on what we're seeing right now, it doesn't take a genius to predict that the Ford power plants are looking for 10 out of 12 here at Talladega. And I don't know if it's just sentiment or not, but I really like the looks of Matt DiBenedetto and the Wood Brothers Ford.
Mike Bagley, what say you?
I say that we do have a good chance of another caution flag coming out. Because as we've seen leading up to this most recent one that we're working now, that the aggression is picking up. The blocks are getting bolder. They are getting more aggressive. And perhaps maybe it's going to end with some sort of carnage in one way or another. But I agree with Dave. For the sentimental value alone and the milestone they would achieve with the win, I would say the Wood Brothers have got a great shot with Matt DiBenedetto taking them back to victory lane today.
All right, so that is turn 2 represented, turn 3 represented. What about Kurt Becker in turn 4? You're there.
Well, in addition to the sentimental aspect about Matt DiBenedetto and driving for the Wood Brothers, I'll throw this in, confidence. Matt has absolutely been driving with a lot of it throughout the course of the day. He's been strong all afternoon long. He's the race leader. And getting around him and making it stick to get to victory lane, that's going to be the challenge for all those drivers behind him.
What about the second place car, Ryan Blaney? He's won 2 of the last 3 here at Talladega. Third place, Brad Keselowski's yet to break into the win column this year. Kevin Harvick, he needs a win to get Stewart-Haas Racing banners back flying high and proudly. And how about the 5th place car, Michael McDowell? How about a second career win in just 1 year?
Yeah, absolutely. Picking up the win in Daytona. We all know that by now. Winner of the Daytona 500. And I think Michael McDowell would like to come out of here with a podium finish just to say it wasn't by accident that I won the Daytona 500. We've talked about it time and time again. He is a tremendous super speedway racer.
He absolutely is. So many people that aren't familiar with his career here in NASCAR aren't real sure about Michael McDowell, saying, I don't know, he's never won before. Maybe that was a fluke. It's not. All of his NASCAR Cup Series top 5 finishes have been on super speedways. Michael McDowell knows exactly what he's doing. Front Row Motorsports always brings great race cars here to Talladega as well as Daytona. And who knows, he may be able to get his second career win, just like the driver starting to his right elbow, Chris Buescher. He's looking for his second career win.
And what about the guy starting behind him? Harrison Burton. We talked about Harrison earlier. He is making his first ever career Cup Series start. And oh, by the way, he's got his teammate lined up right with him.
He absolutely does. So Harrison Burton will start 7th. And then there's Trackhouse Racing's Daniel Suarez, who starts in position number 8, a brand new race team with Justin Marks and Pitbull, part of the ownership group there. How big would that be for Daniel Suarez and that team?
Cole Custer right there in 10th. Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick. Pick out your favorite. It's about to unfold as we get ready to go back under the green flag. It will be 2 to go. Green, white checker. We have to get all the way around and take the white flag before the race becomes official.
That's the leader. The leader has to be the one to take the white flag, and we'll see how this one plays out. I kind of tend to agree with our turn announcers. If we get to a checkered flag without another wreck, I will be surprised. These drivers are ready to go. It's a win. It's a big paycheck. It's a great trophy. And it is a win at Talladega that is on the line.
Kip, get out of the way. Here they come. Kip Childress on pit road, working back through the Geico restart zone located in the tri-oval. 2 to go here. On the inside, Matty D. On the outside, Ryan Blaney. Ford's lined up behind. Harvick behind Blaney. Brad behind Matt DiBenedetto. It's on, and they're headed to 1.
Showtime at Talladega. Nobody able to get a substantial jump at the drop of the flag. Harrison Burton shuffles 3 wide. He's going to plummet backward. Front of the pack, Matt DiBenedetto to the lead.
He will inch out front and grab the lead. Penske teammates and Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney are side by side behind. DiBenedetto looks up, tries to throw a block on Blaney. He can't do it. Harvick shoving Blaney to the lead in 3.
Ryan Blaney, the race leader, working to turn number 4. Here comes DiBenedetto. Brad Keselowski lines up behind him, gives him a shove. Back to the front of the field goes Matty D.
He runs the bottom of the racetrack. They storm back to the tri-oval. White flag is in the air. Matt DiBenedetto is the race leader. He'll take the white flag. Next flag ends it. They're racing hard for the win at Talladega.
After so many close calls, so many disappointments, could today be the day for Matt DiBenedetto? Not if Brad Keselowski has anything to say about it. Here comes Brad to the bottom. He's got drafting help. They're side by side to the back straightaway.
Michael McDowell shoving Brad Keselowski on the bottom. Ryan Blaney shoving Matt DiBenedetto in the middle. Here comes Tyler Reddick around the outside. DiBenedetto will throw that block, and Keselowski will lead to 3.
Michael McDowell goes to second. Kevin Harvick goes to the high side in third. Here comes Michael McDowell looking to the inside, but Brad Keselowski, the leader, off turn 4.
Crowd on their feet. Here they come, racing back to the checkered flag. They're crashing further back. Eric Jones is involved. Here comes Michael McDowell pulling alongside. It won't be enough. And Brad Keselowski has picked up the win, scoring the victory in the Geico 500 at Talladega by a mere inches over William Byron, who just got by Michael McDowell, who was third. Kevin Harvick, how about Kaz Grala coming home 5th?
Ross Chastain pounded the inside safer barrier. He slid by the start-finish line completely sideways, nosed it into the safer barrier. Safety team is on site there. Eric Jones crashed further back, as Kurt Becker called it. He's been able to drive away from the incident site, but Brad Keselowski has joined the winners group in 2021.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh, that's a cheer we used to do in softball.
What? It's actually Geico.
Whenever someone hit a triple, we would wave our bats and yell, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. But we never got to use it because we would only hit home runs. Annoying.
The phrase is from Geico because they help save people money.
Geico? Yeah, they were our team sponsor.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hey, race fans, NASCAR Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace here from my friends at Blue Emu. After years of running up front and doing things at top speed, I still like to go fast.
Race fans are going wild on the backstretch at Martinsville. Rusty Wallace for the final time.
That's why I use Blue Emu, because it works fast and you won't stink. Blue Emu means quality, and it's owned, distributed, and manufactured right here in the US of A. So the next time you need Hall of Fame relief, reach for Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, official pain relief cream of NASCAR.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
Brad Keselowski, his trademark American flag hanging out of the driver's side window, will take a lap here on the Tri-Oval. Brad Keselowski is celebrating his victory today. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Sunoco, fueling victories all season long.
It was a 1/10 of a second, the difference between Brad over William Byron, and it was 1/1000th of a second between William Byron and Michael McDowell. It's a matter of about an inch, maybe not even that. Brad picking up the win here, career win number 35 for Brad Keselowski. And like you said, Alex, the first of the 2021 season. And that means, I believe, that all of the Team Penske cars have now won, and all of them have put themselves in position to run for a championship later on in the season.
It's fantastic effort by Team Penske here to start off the 2021 campaign. You have to give all the credit in the world to Matt DiBenedetto. Think about last year. Matty D thought he was going to be the winner here at Talladega last year, but he got busted and penalized for passing below the double yellow line, had the win taken away. He was oh so close yet again. Let's go to pit road and Dylan Welch.
Let's step in here and grab a word with Kaz Grala. What a weekend for Kaulig Racing. Won the Xfinity Series race yesterday. 5th today in the Cup Series race for Kaz Grala. How about that?
Pretty good. Kaulig Racing certainly is good on the plate tracks. They brought me a really great Hyper Ice Chevrolet and had a lot of fun today. We rode around. We played it safe like our plan was. And when it came go time at the end, we were able to put ourselves in the right positions. Brett Griffin up on the roof helped me out a lot. Matt Swiderski called a great race, and pretty cool to have a top 5. I'm pumped about it. Not too bad for a part-time team.
Yeah, not at all. The plan worked well today. Career best finish for Kaz Grala. He comes home 5th. Kim Kuhn.
Well, the Daytona 500 champion, Michael McDowell, comes home with the podium finish here at Talladega Superspeedway. What does this say about this team, the fact that you're having so much success when you come to these racetracks?
It's just a great testament to everybody at Front Row Motorsports. got really fast left travel stop Ford Mustangs, especially with these speedway races. Thought I had the right move there. Just wasn't able to pull Brad back enough, but glad we got a Ford Mustang in victory lane. All the Fords worked really well together. Just thankful to be a part of this team and keep getting these great finishes, but we want the win.
All smiles for Michael McDowell down here at pit road. Dylan Welch.
A runner-up finish for William Byron as he gets the congratulations from his crew. Take me into your helmet on the last lap there and how things kind of unfolded in front of you. What more did you need there to get yourself in the right spot?
Yeah, I think just looking at it, a little more race car, but we got in that early wreck with the 11 and got a bunch of damage there. And they told me it was good and it was good enough to stay in the draft, but I don't think I was ever good enough to lead after that and push as hard as I could on the last lap or two. Hate that the 99 got sideways there. I was getting pushed from behind and trying to push him forward. And, but yeah, anyways, I mean, just got to the 34, tried to push him and then he made a move and I wasn't strong enough to really make a move for the win, but good Liberty University Chevy and we'll go on to Kansas.
Yeah, this car looks more like a Martinsville car than a Talladega car at the end of the day, but career best run at Talladega for William Byron. He comes home second.
Fantastic effort there from our top 5 finishers. We go back over to Kim Kuhn.
And a tough finish there for Matt DiBenedetto out front, leading laps. Looks like you may have had the win in front of you. Ultimately, you'll have to settle for 6th place. Matt, first, how are you feeling?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's hard. When Blaney got split on the backstretch, it hurt our help. And, it just gets messy at the end. I could look back and be like, I'd change this and this. It's just, you can't live that way. These races are so crazy. And I'm appreciative to be in this position, driving something this dang fast. The Mustangs are obviously really, really good. Having the support of Motorcraft, Quick Lane, and Menards, and our vendor partners, and Ford, in the Woods, our alliance with Team Penske. I say all this because, man, they're the reason I'm here, them and the fans. So, hard day will come. I'm happy for Brad. He did an excellent job. He helped me and pushed. And I don't know. I feel like we have these conversations a lot. It's like our day will come. We're so close. It's just, it's tough.
Tough day for Matt DiBenedetto, but again, does come home in the 6th position.
All right, Kim, thank you very much. Now let's visit with the man who is flying the American flag and the checkered flag winner here at Talladega, and that's Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, two-fisted, American flag and the checkered flag. That's the way you want to do it. Brad Keselowski has climbed out of the money line Ford Mustang down here. Brad, you led one lap here today. Of course, the one that counted. What's it like with a driver when things kind of work in your favor here on a green-white checker at the end of these races?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to leave 187 and not lead the last one, that's not so good. I think I'll take the last one, post-man, and that's exactly how it worked out, leading the last one. It opened up, the lane did. Matt went to block the 12, and I just barely got inside of him with a huge run. Got great push from Michael McDowell, which was really helpful and appreciated. So just a big day.
A big day for sure. Manufacturers, execution from a manufacturer standpoint, green, white, checkered, 6 of you Fords up at the front. How important is that to get yourself established like that, Brad?
Yeah, it is. It just, you feel like you got the wind on your back with that. So it all came together very nicely, and the Fords are really strong.
Your 6th win. It's been a little while, though, but your 6th win here at Talladega. You tie some legends. That's pretty neat as well.
Very cool. I want to keep going, but I'm really proud to be there with Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon. Long ways to ever catch Dale Earnhardt. I don't even know if that's possible, but to be on the same list is pretty cool.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
There we go. Brad Keselowski. He did it again, the 6th time here at Talladega Superspeedway.
And a fantastic effort by Brad Keselowski, holding up the checkered flag and the American flag in victory lane down there. A spectacular effort for Brad Keselowski. The Xfinity fastest lap of the race was run by Bubba Wallace. He turned a lap at 202.770 miles per hour. Xfinity XFi, internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. Dylan Welch.
And Kevin Harvick runs in the 4th spot for the 4-car, the Busch Dog Brew Ford Mustang. So how would you evaluate your day and just kind of take me through your final lap from your perspective?
Yeah, our day was good, other than the speeding penalty that I got us there right before the end of the 2nd stage. But our Busch Dog Brew Ford Mustang ran really good all day. We were able to race in the front, and that it just makes your day go smoother when you have a fast car and you can race up towards the front of the field. And if you get shuffled, you can race back towards the front of the field again. So we had a good smooth day. obviously there was a lot going on all day with a few of the wrecks. Glad Joey's okay with his accident. But there at the end, the 17, he kind of got disconnected from the back of my car, which allowed me to get disconnected from the 12 car. We fell back a little bit, and then everything just kind of broke loose there at the end, and we were able to get to the bottom and still manage a decent finish.
Yep, good day for sure. Kevin Harvick comes home in the 4th spot.
All right, Dylan, thank you very much. And with that, it is over here at Talladega Geico 500. Brad Keselowski with the win, William Byron close behind, and Michael McDowell third. Kevin Harvick, Matt DiBenedetto, top 5. Kaz Grala finished 6th. Tyler Reddick was 7th. Austin Dillon 8th. Ryan Blaney 9th. And Cole Custer was 10th.
Chase Briscoe 11th. Anthony Alfredo 12th. Ryan Newman was 13th. Ryan Preece 14th. Eric Almirola 15th. And Ross Chastain 16th. Christopher Bell 17th. 18th, Kyle Busch. 19th, Bubba Wallace. And 20th, Harrison Burton.
21st, Chris Buescher. Corey LaJoie, 22nd. Daniel Suarez, 23rd. Chase Elliott, 24th. B.J. McLeod, 25th. J.J. Yaley, 26th. Eric Jones, 27th. Cody Ware, 28th. 29th, Timmy Hill. Justin Haley was 30th.
31st, Martin Truex Jr. 32nd, Denny Hamlin. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 33rd. Joey Gase 34th. Kurt Busch 35th. Josh Bilicki 36th. Quinn Houff was 37th. Alex Bowman 38th. Joey Logano 39th. And Kyle Larson was 40th.
And with that, we're going to pack up everything and head out to Kansas City, the Kansas Speedway. That's our next stop. And we invite you to join us. We're going to have a busy weekend out there. The voices that called the action for you this weekend, and man, they were busy. Steve Fridley is our engineer. Ryan Horn is our producer, out in the turns all weekend long. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Kurt Becker up and down pit road and working hard. Steve Post, Dylan Welch, and Kim Kuhn. We congratulate Brad Keselowski, man, the master here at Talladega. Win number 6 for him here. Career win number 35. Brad Keselowski scores the win in the Geico 500 at Talladega.
Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Geico 500 has come to you from Talladega Superspeedway. Sponsored by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. By Xfinity X5, internet that's more than just fast. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. By Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, the official pain relief cream of NASCAR. It works fast and you won't stink. By Coca-Cola, together tastes better. By Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. By Sunoco, fill up with top-tier certified Sunoco Ultratech today. By Indeed, resumes are good. Resumes with an Indeed skills test are better. Visit Indeed.com/credit. By Advance Auto Parts. Fram now has their own line of motor oil and fluids, and it's only at Advance Auto Parts. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. And by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Our coverage has come to you under an exclusive radio license granted by Talladega Superspeedway to the Motor Racing Network, solely for the private non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any use of the description and accounts of this event without the express written permission of the Motor Racing Network is prohibited. Today's broadcast was directed by Ryan Horn, associate producer Alexa Henrian, broadcast engineer Steve Fridley, audio engineer Craig Moore. The president of MRN is Chris Schwartz. Follow NASCAR every day at MRN.com. This broadcast was a production of the Motor Racing Network.
Hey, race fans, this is Brad Keselowski. Stick around. The Sirius XM NASCAR Radio post-race show is coming up next.